Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Stamford Bridge. Hopefully, let's see, there we go. YouTube's having a bit of a problem connecting today, but it looks like everything is alive. Lovely. The miracle of technology, yet again.
Oh, good.
But today, after weeks of just ever-rising nonsense, we're just gonna take it easy and watch the Trump bring the heat to the United Nations.
The Trump. Just the Trump.
Oh, I watched a couple snippets of this, and man, you can. Okay, so let's begin with the most obvious thing, right? Because he starts right away with that.
Yeah.
And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter, because the teleprompter is not working.
Look how this forthright is.
What?
Teleprompter's fucked. Oh, well, I'll carry on.
What do you think the odds are of that? The United Nations doesn't double-check the teleprompter before the President of the United States is speaking.
To be fair, anyone can have a technical problem.
Sure, but I feel like they double and triple check this shit.
Yeah, I feel like they should. But I don't know, man. I think anyone could have a technical problem. So
That is indeed the charitable interpretation. Mine is more conspiratorial.
okay, but it's just a teleprompter. I mean, yeah.
I think one of these fuckers unplugged it, and I think, hey, this'll be funny. Yeah, it'll be funny for us. It'll be funny for Trump.
I guess, maybe, but I don't know. I don't see any need to.
Because,
I
listen,
think so.
most politicians don't do speeches without teleprompters. They're very produced, they're very prepared. Yep. No doubt, dozens of writers were laboring for hours over this UN address right here.
Yeah.
All that goes down, and Trump is like, okay, speaking from the guts.
Yeah, well, I mean, Trump is honestly far better to listen to when he's just talking, when he's just saying what he thinks. He's not. He's fine delivering a pre-prepared speech, perfectly normal. But like, he's so funny and so much more entertaining when he's just riffing. So I say, just let him go. You know.
Yes.
I feel very happy to be up here with you, nevertheless. And that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
See, look at him. He's such a natural. He's such a natural. Like this has got to be considered a hostile crowd, and they're already laughing his jokes.
Yes.
He's such
Hello,
an
Madam First Lady. Thank you very much for being here. And Madam President, Mr. Secretary General, First Lady of the United States, distinguished delegates, ambassadors, and world leaders. 6 years have passed since I last stood in this grand hall and addressed a world that was prosperous and at peace in my first term.
Yeah, I remember that.
Things have definitely gotten worse.
I remember when the world wasn't on fire.
Yeah, I mean, Pete Hegseth called like an all-hands meeting today, apparently, which is a bit concerning. And was it Lavrov said that basically America is at war with Russia? Oh, great.
Yeah, like, you can say a lot that you want about Trump's first term, but the world was a lot fucking quieter back then.
Yeah, it was. And the thing is, the world would be a lot quieter now if the internal forces of the United States just understood Trump as in charge, right? One of the reasons all of this is happening is because of disunity within the West. If the Europeans were like, yeah, okay, Trump's in charge and we're going to do what he wants, it'll be fine for us at the end of it, basically. And all of the Democrats are like, okay, yeah, fair enough. We're loyal countrymen, we're the loyal opposition. Then Russia wouldn't be looking at the disharmony and being like, "Oh, we can exploit this."
Well, yeah, like I'm entirely convinced if Trump had simply had another 4 years, Ukraine would never happened.
Yeah, I agree.
And now, of course, he's having a far harder time resolving it because now the war is already on. Russia has lost hundreds of thousands of men, billions in equipment, and if it backs down without significant gains, Putin is probably just done as a politician, if not as a, living, breathing human in Russia.
Yeah, entirely possibly gets the Ceausescu treatment.
Yes, so he's not going to back down. Ukraine's not going to back down. And so Trump's only option is like, okay, there is no diplomatic solution. And that's why he's going like, oh, if there's a Russian aircraft in NATO space, just shoot it the fuck down. What's Russia going to do? Oh, we're going to declare war on NATO now. Oh, go ahead.
Are you?
Go on. Please.
Seems a bit reckless.
Since that day, the guns of war have shattered the peace I forged on 2 continents. An era of calm and...
I mean, going a bit over and beyond there, Trump, but yeah.
Never hesitate to take credit for things.
Stability gave way to one of the great crises of our time. And here in the United States, 4 years of weakness, lawlessness, and radicalism.
I mean, can you disagree?
No, he's right, obviously.
Yeah, no. The US radicalized, lawlessness, riots, and now the state of the world.
He literally had to send the troops into DC.
Mm-hmm.
Lawlessness is definitely an apt way of putting it.
Under the last administration, delivered our nation into a repeated set of disasters. 1 year ago, our country was in deep trouble, but today, just 8 months into my administration, we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, and there is no other country even close. America is blessed with the strongest economy, the strongest borders, the strongest military, the strongest friendships, and the strongest spirit of any nation on the face of the earth.
And he's not actually entirely wrong here. Like, he's bloviating, of course, but the US economy is up despite all of the experts, all of the financial people, all of the media going like, everything's going to shit, the economy's crashing. No.
I mean, a lot of people's economies are, but not America's.
Yeah, no, not so far. It actually does seem to be doing fairly well.
This is indeed the golden age of America.
Oh, I hope eventually, but
we are rapidly reversing the economic calamity we inherited from the previous administration, including ruinous price increases and record-setting inflation. Inflation like we've never had before. Under my leadership,
there was the Great Depression.
Right, let's begin this morning with Jimmy Kimmel's return.
Well,
I pressed the wrong button because I was moving to pause it.
Okay.
Let me find that again. There.
more powerful than it was ever before. In May, I traveled to the Middle East to visit my friends and rebuild our partnerships in the Gulf, and those valued relationships with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE and other countries are now, I believe, closer than ever before. My administration has negotiated one historic trade deal after another, including with the United Kingdom.
Now, there's the big thing, too, though, because the tariffs, right?
Mm.
The tariffs were predicted to just bring the utter doom of America. Nobody would trade with America. It would be the end of everything. And it turns out that when America puts tariffs on stuff, that means that all of the trade relations are now open to renegotiation. And he can just go to all of them and go like, okay, let's work out a deal on a more equitable term.
Yeah. And that's exactly what he did with Starmer.
Yes.
Like, Starmer's so fucking lucky that Trump just happens to really like Britain. Like, because if Trump didn't like Britain, he'd have made things so fucking hard for Starmer.
Yeah.
The European Union, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and many, many others. Likewise, in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to...
7 of them. I don't even know which wars these are.
No. Then he flew to the moon on a winged horse. And, there's just nothing Trump can't do, frankly.
Get them solved. Some were going for 31 years. 2 of them. 31, think of it, 31
What
years.
wars
One
are
was
these?
36 years.
I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, it's a hell of an achievement.
Huh.
One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. This includes
No idea what he's
Cambodia
talking about.
and
Let's see. Trump has claimed credit for settling conflicts with India and Pakistan. I didn't know they were at war. Israel and Iran.
Well, hang on. Right. So India and Pakistan did actually come close to having a war.
They came close, but they weren't actually, fighting.
No, they didn't have a war, but they were pretty close. So there's something to that, I guess. But sorry, carry on.
He also claimed credit for settling the conflict between Serbia and Kosovo.
Oh, thank goodness. Something like that.
Okay. Very well.
Thailand, Kosovo, and Serbia.
There we go, Kosovo's. Okay, that's fair enough.
The Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was.
What?
Pakistan.
Tribal wars, I guess.
The Congo was having a civil war until, well, I thought now, actually, I thought it was having civil war. Did Rwanda do anything? I mean, it might have done. I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, I just assume that the African continent is consistently on fire, so...
Yeah, I assume that the spears are being thrown by someone at someone else.
And in India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia.
To be fair, right, the Israel and Iran thing, he did sort.
He did. Like, they were shooting at each other, and the only way to make them stop was to demonstrate that Daddy was home.
Yeah.
And that there would be consequences.
What was the other one you just mentioned?
Egypt and Ethiopia.
What, they were at war?
No, not that I know of.
I don't recall hearing about that.
Not that I'm aware, but I'm sure something happened.
Azerbaijan. It included all of them. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before.
Never.
It's unbelievable.
I can't believe it.
There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them.
I mean, that is a point. The United Nations, much like the League of Nations before it, was supposed to take care of this shit.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, it was bullshit. Nothing happened.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, like, there was even a time, and this was what the UN was doing, when it bombed the shit out of Serbia, for example, for years. Like,
what about Bosnia?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the UN was quite literally created to basically end wars like this, to mediate conflicts, and to forcibly finish them if needed. It used to intervene in, like, the various bush wars in Africa and so on.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
And now it's just sitting there as wars continue to spread. Like, no, don't do that. It has no force. And it has the force that he can use, but America's got to do all of it again. I'm like, it's stupid.
And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them.
That's not true. I'm sure they spent an enormous amount of paper on equivocating.
Did 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle.
So I saw a very interesting theory about that.
The escalator?
Yeah.
Oh, do tell.
Failed assassination attempt.
I was about to say. I mean, keep
I'm
them
not saying that it
stationary.
was, but yeah, like just saying, could be.
It's not like they haven't tried to shoot him before.
Yep.
See, the problem is, like, a few years ago, this would be absurd, but right now...
Exactly. Right now, that is not an absurd thing to think.
Yep. And it's also just the whole thing, okay, what's the UN building doing here? So the teleprompter doesn't work, the escalators doesn't work. Anybody maintaining this stuff? What? And again, I want to point out too, normally when the US president visits something, that is the biggest deal ever. Like they weld shut sewers, right, to make sure that nobody could possibly use them to threaten the president and stuff. The security is crazy. You saw how England received Donald Trump with all of the banquets and the preparations and stuff, right? That is how you normally receive the President of the United States, the single most probably important individual in the fucking world, and the UN can't be bothered to double-check the fucking teleprompter?
Well, who knows?
It's one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, well, it could technically happen, but do I buy it?
Who knows?
Not entirely sure.
Guarantees citizenship.
And, like, it seems petty when he points it out, and he probably is pointing it out because he's being petty, but seriously? How many billions a year does the United Nations cost? Actually, how many billions?
I don't know. Probably a lot.
Let's see. About 67.5 billion.
Hell.
Yep. Let's see, that's the total cost. On a yearly basis, the United Nations cost about $3.5 billion per year. So,
well, I mean, it's about as much as we spend on illegal immigrants, to be honest. Less
To be
than
fair.
what we spend, actually. So, in putting that sort of perspective, it's kind of a deal, kind of a steal. Like,
I would think they could afford to do some maintenance on their stuff.
Yeah, you think they'd actually do something, but there we go.
There you go. All right. Let me catch up on a couple of the super chats also before we get too far behind. Quietus, Antifa was declared a domestic terror group, but that has no legal meaning. Congress could declare them a foreign terror group, destroying them, but they do nothing. No FBI raids, no arrests on the shooters. If our leaders won't act, the public must. Well, we don't know if there's any actions being taken yet. But there has been a couple of arrests that we've seen. The rest is going to take investigations, because remember, Antifa wasn't a terrorist group before this, meaning there has not been any investigations. All of this needs to start basically now. And the wheels of such bureaucracy take a long time to turn, so I'm not ready to say nothing is being done yet.
It is interesting, though, that the United States doesn't have laws to deal with domestic terror.
Well, I think it's one of those throwback gentleman agreements when they're like, okay, well, domestic terrorism in the US, what would that be? Well, it would be, an overthrow of a tyrannical regime, right? Well, we can't make that illegal.
Well, that's the first thing you make illegal. What are you talking about?
So it's a bit of an enforcement black hole, but I mean, there's plenty of chapters they should now be investigating and indeed arresting.
Mm-hmm.
Forest Land, Carl, my copy of Islander issue 2 arrived here, New Zealand, last week. Thanks to you and your staff for sending the replacement copy. It was well worth the wait. Big fan of your work.
Sorry about Islander 2, man. We had to change distributor. Like, they really screwed us over.
That is the inevitable occasional consequences of doing stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to live and learn, basically.
Yep. Alex Anderson, Sargon, you should contact Shu to invite her to the podcast. I've told her to tell you, but I know he's too lazy, so I'm interested in you. It's
Maybe.
true. And Chaos, something I've noticed about the left is them attempting to characterize Kirk as just a podcaster instead of an activist. What's Turning Point USA then? The characterization of Charlie Kirk has been very interesting because within hours they started with far-right agitator, right? And that line has largely solidified on the left, and they're now slowly pushing towards more extremist stuff, like activist, agitator, like professional propagandist, and so on. Like, the goal is eventually that when the midterms come around, they can just openly call him the bad words, and everyone will just be like, oh, well, you know, I've heard that before.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, though. I think the right has done a really good job of sanctifying his memory.
Yep. Walking Corpse, if you assume malice with the TDS crowd, you'll rarely be off mark. It does look like it. Diswiz, elevator and teleprompter not working on the same day. That's not a coincidence. Either UN's bankrupt and can't do basic maintenance, or on purpose. Yeah, it's not bankrupt. Not yet.
How many times does it have to be before it's enemy action?
3.
There we go. When there's the third one, then we'll know.
Marksman, the ice shooter has become the new retardy Oswald. Meanwhile, Dev clings to the neutral ground of early 2000s, refusing to acknowledge the new era. Like you have said, that time is past and dead. Even Shu on head can see it. Shu is better than Dev.
Yeah. True.
I did see, like, I think it was a CNN debate panel where they was once again going like, well, you know, okay, sure, another one of us shot at an ice facility, but what about the vice president's inflammatory language? Like, fucking shut up.
What about it?
It's such an idiotic, but your side is saying mean words. Yeah, but your side is shooting at us.
Yeah. You can see who the bad guy is in this equation, Arch.
Fairly simple. Starting to go. Sargon, please bring Arch on EFAP movies.
It's not up to me, is it?
I don't think Sargon owns EFAP yet.
Yeah.
Mr. Wolfgram, if you could pick a Primarch to be the leader of your country, who would it be? Well, Lehman Russ, of course. Well, he understands that culture.
I mean, Gilliman, just because I want some good administration in this fucking country.
That's true. And all of the massive Roman
Genuinely.
pillars everywhere would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
Let's listen more to the Trumpolophagus.
If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much. And by the way, it's working now. It just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. Thank you very much. I didn't think of it at the time because I was too busy working to save millions of lives. That is the saving and stopping of these wars.
God, I do love how he sells all of this, though.
It's so funny, man.
You know how the classic, like, oh, sell me this pen from the marketing meetings, and they're expected to just make up some incredible bullshit? That is Trump, 100%. He sells the pen. The pen ended world hunger, god damn it. Buy the pen!
Well, I mean, he's been a businessman his whole life. You know, you don't end up where Trump is, as a businessman without being an incredible fucking salesman. I'm prepared to, frankly, bullshit your way out of any circumstance.
Yes.
I've never been able to do sales because I'm no good as a bullshit artist. I'm really terrible.
Yeah, same. No, I have an internal filter that begins cringing if I go too far off topic, but Trump is just like, no, millions of lives saved between the Egyptian-Ethiopian War of 2025.
Trick or treat.
Basically, you're lucky to have me.
Yep.
But later I realized that the United Nations wasn't there for us. They weren't there. I thought of it really after the fact, not during these negotiations, which were not easy. That being the case, what is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential.
Ooh. What is the purpose of the United Nations? Now, there's a question that a room full of professional bureaucrats don't want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, who can answer that?
Yeah. Oh, its purpose was to unite the nations, to end wars. That's what we created it for, but it hasn't really been doing that, has it?
I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter.
That's true.
Yes!
Harrison,
Like,
Harrison.
that is really, like, the core issue of the United Nations. It has been for a very long time. What does the UN do? Okay. Palestine does a terrorist attack on Israel. The UN goes, oh, we condemn that. Then Israel does what it usually does whenever Palestine oversteps and bombs the fuck out of that entire region of the earth. And what does the UN do?
Like, get me another piece of paper.
Yes! I shall whine loudly at Israel again.
I go, bring me my angry fountain pen.
And that is all they do. They whinge annoyingly.
Yeah.
They're a joke. And occasionally the warring parties will show up to whinge annoyingly too.
Yeah.
And then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. The only thing that solves war and wars is action.
As he demonstrated, Iran and Israel are lobbing rockets at one another. You know, again, the UN, oh, stop that. Meanwhile, America, would you like to see a magic trick?
Yeah, we've got a Moab.
And the thing is, too, like, people have often, I've seen the TDS crowd going, oh, he didn't actually destroy their nuclear program. That's not the point. Whether or not he managed to destroy it, and one, he couldn't destroy it completely because, you know, it's a nuclear program. They can rebuild always. But the point is, he demonstrates the US can fly aircraft straight into Irani space, bomb whatever the fuck they want, and leave again. That is the point being demonstrated.
Now, after ending all of these wars and also earlier negotiating the Abraham Accords, which is a very big thing for which our country received no credit, never receives credit. Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements.
Everyone says it.
Everyone. Now, here's the thing too, right? The Nobel Peace Prize is one of those things that it has a tremendous amount of gravitas because it's prestigious, and it used to actually mean something big, you know?
It was until they gave it to Obama.
Well, no, it was debased long before that, honestly, but...
Oh, yeah.
Like, Obama was the biggest one. Because what was it Obama in? Nothing. We gave it to him basically as a thank you for being a black man in the White House.
Yes, that's literally why he got it.
Yes.
I'm so glad you're black. Well, at least half black.
We're so happy you're the correct pigmentation. Meanwhile, Trump genuinely has actually ended wars. Like, these ones are a little bit more in the nonsensical department, but he's...
7 wars, Arch.
Yeah, he
Millions
has
of lives.
actually contributed significantly to
He has
ending
actually done
wars.
something. He really has actually done something.
And yet he will never get it because of the politics behind it. And
Yep.
it is entirely fair for him to point out, like, okay, why not? I have literally done these things. Why not? I've done what the prize is for. And instead, the worst part is too, like, the Nobel Peace Prize was intended to be for recipients that actually created peace. But then we went into a period of time when the world was actually really fucking safe and wonderful. And so now we're handing it out to fucking activists. We gave it out to an Afghan schoolgirl who stood up to the Taliban. I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's
Malala,
brave.
whatever her name is.
Yeah, But that's not ending a war.
Yeah, and the thing is, now the Taliban are in charge of Afghanistan. Like,
Yes.
you know, the exact wrong outcome came from that, didn't it?
Yes.
But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with their mothers and fathers, because millions of people are no longer being killed in endless and unglorious wars.
World War I was raging all across the planet. Millions.
Yeah. It's literally the Great War. I'm
I
glad
care
Trump
about
put an
it-
end to it, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, that really sounds like it
You know,
sucked.
you just sound ungrateful to me. I don't know. You know?
It's not winning prizes, it's saving lives. We saved millions and millions of lives with the 7 wars.
And you know how we know that's true?
How do we know that's true?
Millions of people aren't dead.
That's
How
true.
we know that's true.
That's
Prove
undeniably
him
true.
wrong.
We have others that we're working on, and you know that. Many years ago, a very successful real estate developer in New York, known as Donald J.
humble one.
Trump,
The humble man.
I fucking love how he fillets himself without the slightest hint of hesitation.
So funny. It's literally like an Assyrian king listing his own achievements. Emperor of the 4 quarters of the world. I love it.
I bid on the renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex.
Really?
Oh, interesting. And they're still ungrateful to this day.
And teleprompter still doesn't work.
Should probably have them hung, drawn, and quartered, or whatever it is the Assyrians did. Well, crucified or impaled, actually.
I remember it so well. I said at the time that I would do it for $500 million, rebuilding everything. It would be beautiful. I used to talk about, I'm going to give you marble floors. They're going to give you terrazzo. I'm going to give you the best of everything. You're going to have mahogany walls. They're going to give you plastic. But they decided to go in another direction, which was much more expensive at the time, and which actually produced a far inferior product. And I realized that they did
Plastic walls.
Yeah.
not know what they were doing when it came to construction, and that their building concepts were so wrong, and the product that they were proposing to build was so bad and so costly. It was going to cost them a fortune. And I said, and wait till you see the overruns. Well, I turned out to be right. They had massive cost overruns and spent between $2 and $4 billion on the building, and did not even get the marble floors that I promised them.
Didn't even get the fucking marble floors, god damn it.
And you wonder why the UN's shit.
Yeah. Although, you know, there is actually an argument to be made there. Like, grandiosity actually does produce a certain effect on people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's why we used to build governmental buildings, like fucking palaces, magnificent, opulent palaces. It
What do you
speaks
think
of power.
Banks are all done in neoclassical architecture
Yeah.
for a reason.
It speaks of power. It shows, it demonstrates it, both to the people who come there and the people who work there.
Mm-hmm.
You walk on terrazzo. Do you notice that?
Heresy is the question.
As far as I'm
Fire is the
concerned,
answer.
frankly, looking at the building and getting stuck on the escalator, they still haven't finished the job. They still haven't finished. That was years ago.
I like how he's
The
not letting this
project was
go.
so corrupt that Congress actually asked me to testify before them on the tremendous waste of money, because it turned out that they had no idea what it was, but they knew it was anywhere between $2 and $4 billion, as opposed to $500 million with a guarantee.
So what are we here to do? What's the point of this speech again?
Talking about the UN's renovations.
Yeah, you were shit renovating it. Look at your escalator. It's fucking broken. Like, what?
I mean, he's right. The escalator is broken.
Yeah. I agree. But, like, carry on, I guess.
But they had no idea, and I said it cost much more than $5 billion. Unfortunately, many things in the United Nations are happening just like that, but on an even much bigger scale, much, much bigger. Very sad to see. Whether the UN can manage to play a productive role, I've come here today to offer the hand of American leadership and friendship to any nation in this assembly that is willing to join us in forging a safer, more prosperous world. And it's a world that we'll be much happier with. A dramatically better future is within our reach. But to get there, we must reject the failed approaches of the past and work together to confront some of the greatest threats in history. There is no more serious danger to our planet today than the most powerful and destructive weapons ever devised by man, of which the United States, as you know, has many. Just as I did in my first term, I've made containing these threats a top priority, starting with the nation of Iran.
Bombing the Iranian nuclear program, right? Fair enough.
I just love the way he's like, yeah, I'm here to talk to you about the danger of nuclear weapons. We got loads of nuclear weapons.
We have many.
Yeah, we have many, just throwing that out there.
My position is very simple. The world's #1 sponsor of terror can never be allowed to possess the most dangerous weapon. That's why shortly after taking office, I sent the so-called Supreme Leader a letter making a generous offer. I extended a pledge of full cooperation in exchange for a suspension of Iran's nuclear program. The regime's answer was to continue their constant threats to their neighbors and U.S. interests throughout the region and some great countries that are right nearby. Today, many of Iran's former military commanders, in fact, I can say almost all of them, are no longer with us. They're dead.
I gave them an offer they can't refuse. They refused. Now their capos are dead.
Okay, well, yeah, good to know.
That is definitely a firm message. A firm message.
Lessons learned by everyone, I think.
And 3 months ago, in Operation Midnight Hammer, 7 American B-2 bombers dropped the 14 30,000-pound each bombs on Iran's key nuclear facilities, totally obliterating everything. No other country on earth could have done what we did. No other country has the equipment to do what we did. We have the greatest weapons on earth.
Yeah, ultra. Literally, nobody else could have actually done that.
We hate to use them, but we did something that for 22 years people wanted to do. With Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity demolished, I immediately brokered an end to the 12-day war, as it's called, between Israel and Iran.
Are we calling it that?
I guess we are now.
We are now.
With both sides agreeing to fight no longer.
With both sides agreeing to fight. Well, I mean, probably.
As everyone knows, I have also been deeply engaged in seeking a ceasefire in Gaza. Have to get that done. Have to get it done. Unfortunately, Hamas has repeatedly rejected reasonable offers to make peace. We can't forget October 7th, can we? Now, as if to encourage continued conflict, some of this body is seeking to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state.
Yep. Keir Starmer. Yep, we're recognizing
Not just
Palestine.
Loads of people.
France too. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a map. I saw a map. It's literally most of the world has done that.
And now, of course, that does also mean that many countries might be in danger of reparation demands from Palestine, as now that it's an official member of the world community.
Uh-huh.
And again, like right now, the fact that it was done now, it's solely being done to try and piss off Trump. Like,
yeah.
Heresy's the question.
it is literally a nation-level virtue signal.
Yeah.
the rewards would be too great for Hamas terrorists for their atrocities. This would be a reward for these horrible atrocities.
Oh, I mean, yes. Oh, wait, hold on. If we do terrorist attacks on neighboring nations, we get the protection of the entire world? Huh.
Apparently so, yeah.
Weird, but we'll take it.
Thing is, that's how badly Netanyahu's fucked this up.
The problem is, like, this is just what Israel does, and what Israel really needs to do is to just stop slowly stepping on the thorn. Because that's what they're doing. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
we want to crush Gaza, but we're going to do it really slowly and carefully so it's not piss anybody off. Like, listen.
No, they should have had just put troops go in. They shouldn't have been bombing it. It's stupid.
Yeah, it
Like,
doesn't work.
Any other way would have been better, basically.
This slow, torturous anti-terrorism campaign doesn't work. Hamas will simply keep making videos like, look how terrible they are. And slowly but surely, Israel's sympathy will fade as it's done every time before.
Oh, it really has. Everyone hates Israel these days.
Yeah, and it's because it's really simple. Like, Palestine attacks Israel, everyone's on Israel's side. Then Israel starts doing their stuff, and comes out, and normal people look, oh, that looks bad, that looks bad, that looks bad, and it just keeps on going. Israel just needs to end this fucking war. That's what it needs to do.
Yep.
Including October 7th, even while they refuse to release the hostages or accept a ceasefire. Instead of giving to Hamas and giving so much, because they've taken so much, they have taken so much. This could have been solved so long ago. But instead of giving in to Hamas's ransom demands, those who want peace should be united with one message: release the hostages now. Just release the hostages now. Thank you. Thank you. As we have got to come together, and we will come together, got to get it done. We have to stop the war in Gaza immediately. We have to stop it. We have to get it done. We have to negotiate. Immediately have to negotiate peace. We got to get the hostages back. We want all 20 back.
And I still like, there's no negotiating this. There's no negotiated settlement to the war in Gaza. There just isn't. The two parties are completely opposed to each other. Both sides want to destroy the other. There is no like, oh, please just stop fighting. No. You just got to end this conflict. It's the only thing. And in this, America too is guilty. The US basically just needs to go behind Israel and go like, listen, you're the only one who's going to win this war, so fucking just do it already.
Or tell Israel to stop. You know, like whichever way, like America holds the key here.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who can actually, make a decision.
They are.
We don't want 2 and 4. As you know, I got, along with Steve Witkoff and others that helped us, Marco Rubio, we got most of them back. We were involved in all of them. But I always said the last 20 are going to be the hardest, and that's exactly what happened. We have to get them back now. We don't want to get back 2, and then another 2, and then 1, and then 3.
Because now, of course, also Hamas has realized that, oh, hold on. Taking hostages works. It gets us concessions. It stops bombing campaigns. Well, that's not at all encouraging news or anything.
Apparently it gets you exactly what you want.
Yep. Some reason we seem to have all forgotten that whole don't negotiate with the terrorists part.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
Strange.
Have this process. No, we want them all back, and we want the actually 38 dead bodies back too. Those parents came to me and they want them back, and they want them back very quickly and very badly. As though they were alive, they want them. They want them every bit as much as if their son or daughter were alive. I've also been working relentlessly, stopping the killing in Ukraine.
Ah, Ukraine, the big one.
Mm.
All right, let me
Apparently, the Pentagon Pizza Index is reporting exceedingly high usage.
Yes, I've heard some rumblings around that as well, that key personnel has been called in, so we'll see. Let me catch up on a couple more of these as well. Dim Light Echo, do you guys think the right is better off acting now or waiting for the left to make more mistakes? As it stands, the narrative is falling towards us.
Do whatever you want, basically. Fuck the left. That's how I feel about it. Like,
Now,
they've shown themselves to be completely unsympathetic.
Yes.
And happy to produce many, many terrorists. Like, every trans school shooter is a leftist. Driven mad by leftist ideology. Like, purge all of this stuff.
The best strategic move would be to basically harp on the narrative right now until the midterms, secure the House, secure Parliament yet again. And then a conversation needs to be had about what measures need to be implemented.
Yeah.
Antifa terrorist organization? Absolutely. Arrests need to happen. Jimmy Kimmel. That's why I made a video
saying... Absolutely. Arrests need to happen.
That's why I made a video on Jimmy Kimmel. Far-right cancel culture hasn't gone far enough. It needs to go further. Because this was the first time as well that got the left to talk about the First Amendment.
Yeah. It's been a long time, isn't it?
Yes. The only thing that has been proven to get the left to even pay lip service to free speech is to hit them. And, well... you do whatever works, don't you? Sentinel Rex, the US rejected the UN's recognition proposal of Palestine. We were the decisive vote and it did not pass. There was a lot of other globo gay stuff in there too. Yeah. Again, Palestine just needs to end. It just needs to end. Not because I necessarily have a dog in this particular fight, but because Israel's the one who's got to win. Fucking finish it already.
Yeah, I'm just kind of sick of hearing about it, frankly.
Carl Guy 52. The government sucks at doing things. It makes sense a government made by governments would be even worse. Well, see, that's
a great take. That's a great take.
There was a time when the UN was actually doing things, when it was an actual peacekeeper. It operated in Israel, Palestine, it operated in Bosnia, Herzegovina, all that, Serbia, it operated in Africa. It was actually a peacekeeping organization, and it did do so effectively. But it hasn't been doing that for like 30 years.
Why not, though? Like, what's the reason?
Lack of balls, really.
It literally comes down to that, does it?
Yeah, I think so, because the leaders back then were largely World War II leaders who understood this stuff. And like, okay, the only way to stop a war is to actually go in there and go, no. We are the West. People. We have superior technology to you. We could destroy you. Pray we do not. As that was the entire point about the UN peacekeepers. The UN peacekeepers would be placed in an exposed position between the two parties to basically go, okay, if even by accident you kill one of ours, we are nuking your nation from orbit. And that worked. Because all the sides were then scared shitless to hit the UN troops, even by accident. And whenever they did hit them, the bombing of Serbia happened. And that is how you end wars.
I'm in favor of the West being strong again, I tell you that.
Yes. Like, if that was the West of old, it could simply go over to Ukraine and say, no, we're making a demilitarized zone, we're filling it with little dudes in white helmets. If you hit one of them, we're destroying your nation.
Yeah.
Mars Jin, hey Sargon, what's a good vacation spot across the pond for a Burger King? Watch Space King episode 3 soon.
Anywhere that's not one of the sort of major Midlands metropolitan areas. So you can go to Durham, you can go to Bath, you go to Devon, go to Sussex, sort of south of England. Just don't go to the Midlands, basically.
Harrison Jodit, Trump's rambly insult into a rap battle. Jeff D, did you hear that the US is closing the solar plant that inspired the one in Fallout New Vegas in 2026 due to its failure to meet power output expectations? I did. It had cost billions to build, and it will cost hundreds of millions to deconstruct.
I can't believe it was a huge boondoggle.
Leywolf the Red, Obama deserves the Abaddon Evil Douchebag Prize. Secondly, the UN is the most wretched hive of scum and villainy and ought to be dissolved. Yes. And also, the entire like solar power thing, right? So, okay, we are in a situation where either we could build enormous, incredibly expensive to build and maintain, mind you, solar power plants, or we could use that magic rock we discovered that boils water for us.
I saw a meme the other day on Twitter. Just all energy production is literally just boiling water.
Yes.
And it's so fucking true. It's so true.
Like, because boiling water is an incredibly easy way to create something that turns a turbine.
Yeah.
Like, and we literally have a magic rock that boils water for us.
Yeah.
But instead, we're going to cover like a few hundred square meters in solar panels so that we can boil water in the most complicated, the most expensive, and the least predictable way possible.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do.
King Spectre, I think he's just stuck on the tangent about how shit the UN is. Can you blame him? Sajad, Sony are doing a Deus Ex remaster. It looks beyond atrocious. Worm, Phoenix Point, Amber Fried Rice, Pineapple, and Breakfast Roll. I saw it, and as much as I love Deus Ex, They've taken a game that at this point looks stylistic because of how old it is, and they've placed it in exactly that like PS2 era where things were starting to look okay but still weren't looking good, basically. Which isn't really so much like a graphical upgrade as it's probably a graphical downgrade at that point.
Yeah, early 2000s polygon graphics are really something.
Cattle Baron, Europe seething that America's not interested in being a pay piggy for Europe anymore. Kind of, yes, unironically.
Yeah.
Like, Europe got pretty used to America just picking up the check for everything, and, I mean, that was nice.
Well, listen, it was your fucking empire, America. Don't complain at us.
Yeah. We didn't ask you. You took on this role. And like, okay, we'll do all of this. All right. We're going to be the world police. Cool. That's a lot more money for us to spend on social services.
That's literally what it is.
Nathan Cassidy, Trump is the incarnation of he's out of line, but he's not wrong. The fact that he almost does something is an added bonus. Yes. And Corporate 88, the great escalator scandal of 2025. It was a great scandal.
Mm.
Daniel, I want Trump to be the next Torres speech equal in Ace Combat 8. They walked over his crisp white sheets and didn't let him watch Submarine, VTubers. Cool dudes. Hello there. Here in Nigeria, we have a trans pedophile who hurt a 3-year-old after getting bail for 13-year-old. Yet the judge is worried the community poses a danger. All this thanks to liberal mandatory bail reform.
If it helps, we've probably got the same thing over here.
And Buddy Zenek, Botch, you have 2K people watching and like 300 likes. I know, you lazy whores. All of you. Listen, I can't turn up the ads any harder than I already have, but I'll find a way unless you like the video, I swear. Even if I have to reprogram YouTube. But yes, like the video for Trump. Look at him. He's looking at you right now, skeptically, condemning your inaction. You're the UN, chat. You do nothing.
I thought that would be, of the 7 wars that I stopped, I thought that would be the easiest because of my relationship with President Putin, which...
Ah. Okay, now we're actually going to get a moment of humble pie from Trump, I think, because I genuinely do believe that he thought he had a connection with Putin.
Yeah, I agree.
And of course, that was probably naive, because Putin is probably only Putin's friend.
Obviously.
And I also point out here, like, remember, this is not America. This is not European politics. This is Russian politics. If you fall from power in Russian politics, you pretty much fall from life. Like,
yeah.
There's not much of a retirement plan for czars, let's just say. So
yeah, Trump doesn't understand. Because he knows that, okay, if I get deposed, I'll get hassled in the courts, but I'll just carry on my life.
Yes, if Trump gets deposed, then the Democrats will come back with the usual vengeance, and they're going to sue him, and he's going to be dragged through the courts for the next fucking 25 years.
Yeah.
But if Putin gets deposed...
Bit worse.
His body's going to be found in a river somewhere.
Oh, I don't even know. He'll be public from his enemies. His enemies will publicly, like, it'll be literally like Mussolini or something, you know.
Dragged through the streets and set on fire. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you not think so? The amount of journalists he's disappeared and whatnot over the
amount
years.
Of opposition leaders that have mysteriously developed strange diseases.
Yeah. And then, you know, will get poisoned by fucking polonium or whatever it was. But yeah, like, his enemies will drag him through the streets.
Yeah. When Putin demonstrates weakness and losing the war in Ukraine,
that would be a demonstration of weakness, yeah.
Yeah, after all of the sacrifices made, after all of the people mobilized, after all of the enemies made, yeah. This is not a situation in which Putin can back down in.
No, I really don't think it is.
Had always been a good one. I thought that was going to be the easiest one, but you know, in war, you never know what's going to happen. There are always lots of surprises, both good and bad. Everyone thought Russia would win this war in 3 days.
Yep, and they very nearly did. Like, the Russian plan was good. Now, major, fast-moving armored spearheads going in towards major population centers, VDV striking airborne at the capital. It was a great plan, but the Russian army was not up to carrying it out.
They very nearly took Kiev, though.
Yep. Like, if there was a independent brigade there, trained on the European standard, incidentally as well, that stopped the VDV from taking the airport and flying in reinforcements. Like, it literally came down to a handful of dudes holding off the initial airborne assault. And the rest, of course, was that the troops moving in across the countryside were fucking reservists. They didn't understand that they were going to have a fight. They weren't set up properly. They didn't effectively use their air power. Russia failed again at any kind of seed operations. Like, they tried to fight a war in the American style in the air, and they failed. And they tried to fight a war in the German style on the ground, and they failed, because Russia's kind of shit at this stuff. Like,
but Russia's just always fought this way.
Yeah, like, because every one of Russia's modern day invasions has degraded into absolute shitfests. Because, like, the Russians don't fight in the modern way. When they were invading Georgia, they needed to use fucking journalist cell phones because their own stuff broke down. Like, when they tried to design a field telephone using satellites and stuff, it went billions over budget, produced like a couple thousand units, and they still haven't figured it out. But yeah, good plan, but well, that kind of defines Russia, isn't it? They often have, like, the T-34 tank. Excellent design, way ahead of its time, built by peasants who had only ever constructed tractors.
But it didn't work out that way. It was supposed to be just a quick little skirmish. It's not making Russia look good. It's making them look bad.
and sapping their strength too. Like Russia was something people were afraid of before this. Now, the whole, because the media often uses this a whole lot. It's like, oh, be afraid of Russia. Russia might invade us. Oh no. How many tanks do they have left again?
No matter what happens from here on out, this was something that should have taken a matter of days, certainly less than a week. And they've been fighting for 3.5 years.
That's fucking ridiculous too. You know, this entire war was planned to be over in a week. 3 fucking years now. And this is every war in our modern area. We all have these like half-assed bush conflicts that just go on forever, slowly whittling away at the manpower of everyone involved.
Yes, bloody
Killing
insufferable, isn't it?
anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 young soldiers, mostly soldiers, on both sides, every single week. From 5,000 to 7,000 dead young people, and some in cities, much smaller numbers, where rockets are shot, where drones are dropped. This war would never have started if I were president. This was a war that should have never happened.
True. Like that is a post I 100% agree on, because the world was quiet under Trump precisely because nobody knew what the fuck Trump would do. And when Trump was pushed to the wall, as with Iran, he bombed them. I do not believe that.
Bombing people.
Yeah, he should bomb people more often. Bombing seems to end wars.
Certainly shuts your fucking enemies up, Trump.
It shows you what leadership is, what bad leadership can do to a country. Look what happened to the United States, and look where we are right now in just a short period of time. The only question now is how many more lives will be needlessly lost on both sides. China and India are the primary funders of the ongoing war by continuing to purchase Russian oil, but
and Germany.
Oh, God, the German strategy in all of this has been so stupid.
Oh, the German strategy has been like a perfect example of the EU in general, honestly.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, they're now going to start trying to get independent of Russian oil and gas, right? It's a 10-year plan where they're going to build this hyper-sophisticated, hyper-complicated plan, complexes, and it's going to be probably really great in a decade, at which point it's far too late. Like, they're beginning to build their arms manufacturing now, and it's the most hyper-complicated, hyper-modern, over-complicated stuff you've ever seen that produces a tenth of what it needs to. It's so fucking German.
Yeah, it's exactly what I'd expect from them, to be honest.
Excusably, even NATO countries have not cut off much Russian energy and Russian energy products.
Because they can't. We decided that we were going to make ourselves utterly dependent on energy produced by fucking Russia.
I can't imagine the conversation that led up to it. It's like, right, so we're going to let Putin control the raw materials that power our civilization, are we? Like, yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Like, it was multifaceted, right? So one was obviously 60s, 70s Greenpeace nonsense, nuclear dangerous, blah, blah, blah. We can't build that. Okay. And then it was everybody expects more and more and more. Our energy sectors need more. People are living better lives. We have more electronic appliances. We need more energy. Okay. Where are we going to get it from? And Russia was right there going like, hey, we're a democratic nation now. Look at us. We're just like you.
So convincing.
And we completely forgot the last, 500 years of European history. Fuck, 500. The last few thousand. Every single major threat to Europe has come from the East. Every fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, there's just nowhere else for it to come from.
But
it comes from within Europe or it comes from the steppe.
we were still thinking back then, like this was also the American doctrine of, oh, if we just bring the Middle East hamburgers, they'll calm down. Remember
that was wrong, wasn't it?
For $50, if I were in Swedish, I laugh at fellow Swedes who think Russia is a major threat to all Europe and that they would roll over us easy. We may be underprepared, but Russia failed to take Ukraine. I'd like to see them try to go through the Nordics, Baltics, or Poland. Oh, yeah.
It's so mad, isn't it? It's like, oh, Russia's going to storm through all of Europe. And it's like, is it? It hasn't even stormed through all of Ukraine.
Yeah, no, when Ukraine hadn't happened, Russia had a plausible threat. Like, they could beat its chest, show off its fucking Soviet arsenal, and be like, we're dangerous, rawr. Now?
Yeah.
You couldn't beat a nation equipped with your own old surplus shit.
It's mad.
Which, as you know, I found out about 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't happy. Think of it. They're funding the war against themselves. Who the hell ever heard of that one?
I mean, it's a good point.
Guarantees citizenship.
Can't argue that.
Yeah, it is rather ridiculous. Like, yes, Europe is indeed funding a war that it claims is against itself, so here we are. Yet again, the German mind has dreamt up an impossibility.
And what I love about the German mind is it can never admit that it's wrong.
God. Allowing Germany to become a nation was a terrible fucking mistake.
No, I completely agree. It should be at least 3.
Like, don't get me wrong, France was fucking annoying for a very long time, but they were never quite like this.
No, the French are a lot more impulsive.
Yeah.
They're
But the
a lot more-
French...
honestly, they've got this like pridefulness that would prevent this, I think.
Yeah, because like the French used to be the great war nation of Europe. For the French started everything. They were invading Germany, Italy, America, England, Spain, all kinds of shit, starting wars all the time. But they never really got anywhere with most of these. And when they did, unlike a Napoleon, they burnt themselves out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas the Germans, it's not even just about starting wars. It's the continuous nonsensical ideas they keep fucking having.
Yeah, it's the rules. It's like, well, we can just, buy things from whoever, but you're also... no, carry on.
In the event that Russia is not ready to make a deal to end the war, then the United States is fully prepared to impose a very strong round of powerful tariffs, which would stop the bloodshed, I believe, very quickly. But for those tariffs to be effective, European nations, all of you are gathered here right now, would have to join us in adopting the exact same measures.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Nope.
Because, if Russia was just received a full boycott and its oil and gas resources, its economy would fucking crash. But
I have lost.
we need that. We need that to power our cushy lives, our luxurious cities, our vast social healthcare services.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Mr. Trump, you don't understand. After decades of relying on you to protect us, we're not prepared for this.
But not only that, Biden spent so much time damaging US-Russia relations and drove Russia straight into the arms of China.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's like, okay, thanks, Biden. You've well and truly poisoned that fucking well. So what, it's no way anything's going to happen in that way, in that regard.
There really isn't. Like, because he can't get the European Union to get along with the sanctions that are required, because the UN will simply look up at him like a bunch of spoiled teenage girls and go, "Wow, but my mascara."
Yeah.
And he can't negotiate with any real trust with Russia because Russia is looking at the EU, writing another angry letter. The only way to end this conflict is probably going to be through force yet again. And then we end up in that dumb situation where Russia, it might not be a conventional military threat, but it is an unconventional one.
I mean, you're much closer to the city. We have an ocean in between. You're right there. And Europe has to step it up. They can't be doing what they're doing. They're buying oil and gas from Russia while they're fighting Russia. It's embarrassing to them, and it was very embarrassing to them when I found out about it, I can tell you that. They have to immediately cease all energy purchases from Russia. Otherwise, we're all wasting a lot of time. So I'm ready to discuss this. We're going to discuss it today with the European nations, all gathered here. I'm sure they're thrilled to hear me speak about it, but
Especially after they laughed at you a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta stop buying from Russia. Ha ha ha, stupid Americans. Don't they know Russia's our friend?
Oh, God, that was so insufferable, man. They literally laughed in his face.
Yes.
I'm surprised he's not throwing that back in their face now, actually.
Maybe we haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
that's the way it is. I like to speak my mind and speak the truth. As we seek to reduce the threat of dangerous weapons today, I'm also calling
Look
on
at her
every
fucking
nation.
face! She looks fucking furious, does she?
What? She also knows she's fucking stuck here. Like, oh,
Yeah.
stop buying energy from Russia? Well, we can't do that. Why? Well, Mr. Trump, allow me to present you my 500-page innovation plan for Europe.
Oh my God, yeah, that fucking plan. Incredible.
To join us in ending the development of biological weapons once and for all. And biological is terrible, and nuclear is even beyond, and we include nuclear in that. We want to have a cessation of the development of nuclear weapons. We know, and I get to view it all the time. Sir, would you like to see? And I look at weapons that are so powerful that we just can't ever use them. If we ever use them, the world literally might come to an end. There would be no United Nations to be talking about. There would be no nothing. Just a few years ago, reckless experiments overseas gave us a devastating global pandemic. Yet despite that worldwide catastrophe, many countries are continuing extremely risky research into bioweapons and man-made pathogens.
That too. Like, the entire fact that there are still experiments going on where we're like, okay, I wonder if we can aerosolize Ebola. Why?
Yeah, why are we trying to do that exactly?
Why are we wondering about that?
Just idle, disinterested thought, you know.
Yeah. Like, hey, this virus would be unfathomably dangerous. It only affects bats right now, but imagine if it spread to humans. It'd be super contagious. I wonder if we can mutate it to do that.
Yeah.
Stop.
I think that's not the world's greatest idea.
It's idiotic. And the worst part is, it's not even like we could use this shit for weaponry. Like, if we started unleashing this stuff, what are we going to do? Close the border? Like, oh, don't come over here, Mr. Virus. Fucking idiotic.
This is unbelievably dangerous. To prevent potential disasters, I'm announcing today that my administration will lead an international effort to enforce biological weapons convention, which is going to be meeting with the top leaders of the world by pioneering an AI verification system that everyone can trust. Hopefully, the UN can play a constructive role, and it will also be one of the early projects under AI. Let's see how good it is, because a lot of people are saying it could be one of the great things ever, but it also can be dangerous, but it can be put to tremendous use and tremendous good, and this would be an example of that.
I love the idea of putting the world's biological warfare stock in the hand of the AI.
Oh, what could go wrong?
That sounds like a thoroughly brilliant idea. Why not? Why not?
I mean, I can think of many reasons if you want me to list them.
Not only is the UN not solving the problems it should, too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the #1 political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States, and then we have to get them out. The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that?
I can, yes. Like, believe me, the European Union is very good at this. And also, like, this is one of those things where every nation in Europe is in absolute agreement that, no, we don't want more migrants, but they're continuously overruled by their own politicians going like, no. More people.
The way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border. Just a year ago, millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration.
Jesus.
And now we have it stopped, totally stopped.
Yep. Immigration.
All true.
In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net.
That's true. Back in the day, when millions of people journeyed from one country to the other, we used to define that as an invasion.
Yeah. Very spicy by Trump there.
It used to be the literal meaning of the word.
Yeah.
We have reasserted that America belongs to the American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand.
That's what. Yes, that's the line. America belongs to the American people. That's the line. That's the killer line that undoes the entire liberal international order. Because if America belongs to the Americans, Israel belongs to the Israelis, Palestine belongs to the Palestinians, France belongs to the French, Germany to the Germans, England to the English, etc., etc., etc. That's the killer line.
I mean, I agree, except for Germany belongs to the Germans. I think that one's...
Yeah. We can hash out the details later, but the point being is it's a statement of collective moral ownership.
Yes.
This is the exclusive property of this group. Other groups and the individuals they make up actually have no claim to them. And so if we want to just eject them, we're free to, because it's ours and not yours.
Yep. And we're going to have to partition Germany and Russia, but that's just how it is.
Just historical inevitability, really, isn't it?
Yep. Some things just have to happen.
Yeah.
Let me do a couple more of these. Chat has been very happy and active today. In fact, I think we're getting a new viewership record here. 2,700 people now. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Keep liking the video, chat. Likes equal more people. More people equals more likes. I hope.
Yeah.
Rebel Eggs. Rwanda has been supplying and funding a lot of rebel groups that were operating in Congo. Oh, has it now?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I must admit, I am not up on my tribal warfare.
Yeah, I don't care what happens in Africa.
Roland Compton, I work on escalators for a living. I guarantee you someone hit the stop switch. I watched the video, someone hit the stop switch.
Assassination attempt.
Gamer Nix, the Emperor protects. He does indeed. Fredden58, I can't wait for when Trump announces he is the American Imperium to the UN. Next time. Also in the last stream, I want to comment about how the left act surprisingly like the Skaven. That's kind of true, yeah.
Yeah, they do. Oh, I tell you what, at the moment, the left in Britain is having an amazing meltdown. There's been this really ridiculous infighting in, like, you know, the fringe left, and they're going hell for leather at each other, and it's like, it really does remind you of Skaven, actually.
Well, see, a bit of the interesting thing right now is that the left doesn't have a story right now.
No.
And this goes for America also in particular, where after Kamala failed, the Democrats don't really know what they're doing. Their only real plot right now is to continue going threat democracy, threat to democracy, threat to democracy.
Well, you know, they do have a story. It's just not one they like. We ruined the West. Yep, that is the left.
Yeah, because, well, that's the alternative. The alternative is far left. It's progressivism. And
Yeah.
they've tried that, and they've kind of come to the conclusion now, finally, that doesn't work. It doesn't make them popular.
Yeah, it's not really something you can actually appeal to. Because
Yes.
everyone now has long experience of being governed by the left, and it's shit.
Yep, all of the promises about how things were going to get so much better just
Yeah.
didn't happen. And people have ran out of patience with it.
Yep.
And so now the left is throwing about for a narrative that isn't just more progressivism. And they can't find one because they've built basically all of them off that. And
Well,
what they used to have has been shanghaied. It's been taken over by the far left.
What argument would they even make? I mean,
Well, they would make the argument like, oh, we're for freedom and democracy. And then the far left would say, yeah, we're for
What do you
even
think?
more freedom and democracy.
I don't know if that's a persuasive narrative, frankly.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Because what they mean is more extremes.
Yeah.
And everyone now knows, because the linguistic trick that they've been using for so long of simply saying, oh, but we're for more of that. Well, we've tried that. You didn't produce any more of that. In fact, we only received less.
And moreover, like, I don't even know if they believe that. Like, weirdly enough, like, they're for equality. That's their primary thing, is equality these days, and they know that. You know, so they'll complain about human rights, but, like, come on, bro.
Mhm.
No one buys that shit.
Frog Jupiter. Speaking of Serbia, a Serbian friend of mine had to go to jury duty for a witchcraft case. Apparently, the accused tried to use a trad Serbian curse.
Well, I mean, I'm against people using Serbian curses.
That's true. Trevor N. God, I'd love when Trump reads to the UN and the EU Riot Act. Makes me proud that I voted for him, which I assume is a rare feeling in Europe.
Well, I mean, we didn't vote for him, so I guess it is. Yeah, you're all right. But
But,
I would have voted for him.
Pride in
I
our
am jealous of the
politicians is
Americans
rare.
being like, this is what I voted for. I was like, well, it's what I was supporting.
Sluxon Doppelganger, you don't understand, Arch. There legally is no such thing as a domestic terrorist group. The exec order means nothing beyond a declaration of intent. Well, true, but everything has to start with intent. And we can quibble about the legalistic framework thereafter.
Hmm.
Krieger N, did you see the Ice Pokemon video? Someone at Ice has my sense of humor. I did. Buddy Zenik becomes a member. Thank you very much. Ziphion, so the UN assassination plan was to give Trump a heart attack by walking up the stairs. And it's not just Trump's camera. A guy accidentally tripping the emergency stop at the top. Occam's razor, anyone? Possibly, yeah. It could be that Trump's generous bulk leant up against the stop button. It could happen, but... Madney 85, yesterday was my birthday. Please call Jimmy Kimmel the British cigarette word.
I bet not.
YouTube. Tis Wiz, speaking of tariffs, our president has openly stated that he will not abide by the tariff treaty. Will the US make an example of Korea and impose tariffs on the same level as Canada? I mean, I hope so. They don't want to play ball. Sujad, I vaguely remember Dev arguing that Biden and Democrats weren't coercing big tech. Amber fried rice, pineapple, Phoenix point of worm. Yes, no, I too remember this argument where when they were talking about how they'd showed up at Facebook, for example, right?
Yeah.
The argument from the left then was that interaction with the government, even with FBI agents arriving at your office, was not in any way coercive.
Which is weird, because it used to be the left would argue that any interaction with the government was coercive.
Yes. Whereas now, the FCC lead guy going like, I think this is fucking terrible, that is coercion.
I mean, there had to be a court injunction taken out against Biden to stop them trying to deplatform people. They were literally forbidden from dealing with Twitter, from contacting Twitter.
Yes. But it goes to show that the left's narrative is very fluid in these things because there's no principle behind it.
Are you ready?
But hey, I'm glad we agree that no interaction with the government is without an element of coercion.
Yeah, great. Now I've got to pay my taxes.
Frog Jupiter, what's funny is the accused confessed to intentionally burying the animal in someone's front yard, which is Serbian curse, and the penalty was expulsion from college or get banished to the Serbian version of Detroit. I mean, sounds reasonable to me. Christian H, how can we cracking down on destructive behavior of tribalistic politics group without radicalized more of them? That is a very fucking hard question to answer, I'm afraid. Because I had a discussion with a lovely lady, not so erudite, yesterday, which basically, like, the situation we're in right now is both sides escalating, both sides are holding their finger over the button and going like, you back down or else. And that's true, but the problem is also the left has already been doing that for 10 years. They've already been doing that, and the right has been backing down, and they never took their finger off the button.
This is the basic prisoner's dilemma, right?
Yes.
If you both do the right thing, you get barely, minimal amounts of pain and punishment. If both of you, if one of you betrays, you get the worst punishment. And if both of you betray, you get the second to worst punishment. And so the right at this point is just said, right, we'll just have the second to worst punishment then.
Yes.
We used to have like the middle one, but you betrayed that, and we got the worst one. So now we're gonna have the second to worst one for everyone all the time. So, and you've made it this way.
Yeah, because even if we go one step further, right, and say that the worst punishment is just everything, the worst thing happens, the world fucking ends, full on apocalyptic nonsense, right? There is no moral onus right now on the right to back down. It has backed down again and again. Yeah. Nothing has changed. The only thing that has actually seen the left at least pay lip service to the values of the right is punishing them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I mean, we're gonna keep doing that then.
Yeah, no, full on pain. You get, this is what Jimmy Kimmel should be deplatformed. Fuck him. Because the left would deplatform you. They would deplatform you. And until they understand that nobody gets deplatformed, because the way that this works, right, is if we both abide by the terms of the agreement, both sides play the game fairly, then everyone gets to say what they like. Now, that's not always fun, right? That means that a lot of people you don't like get to say things you don't like to hear, and that sucks. But that is the best of the options that we have available. The second option is that one side betrays the other, and then the other side takes a beating. Society suffers. The entire thing becomes out of balance and out of whack, and everything starts going off the rails. Or the third option is just everyone has to suck it. It's just everyone gets deplatformed whenever one side or the other is offended, blah, blah, blah. And this is the lesson that brings us back to the position we started in.
Yep. So it's just one of those things where right now we're caught in the stand down, and it's just going to have to escalate now. I don't think there is another option. It's going to have to escalate, and the best case scenario is that it escalates and the left finally goes, ow, ow, ow. Okay, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Yeah, maybe we were wrong. This is what hitting you feels like, does it? It's like, yeah, this is what it feels like.
Yes. And that then is the hope. And if that doesn't happen, well, shit, we tried all of the other solutions. They didn't work either, so fuck it.
Yeah.
It's not a good scenario, but it is the scenario.
I think it's just inevitable at this point.
Yes. Everything we've done. Like, because again, that's why I'm saying that the right has no moral onus to back down, because I genuinely do believe that all of the other solutions have been attempted right now. So, here we are. Yeah. MJ Bull, Israel ending the war will be more brutal, but will also putting their infantry at risk that the US can give simply Israel orders, one of the most frustratingly silly notions.
Well, I think the US has a lot more pull over Israel that it uses.
Yes, it has a lot more pull than it uses, because most of Israel's weapon technology is basically based on Americans. And if America wants to stop giving them spare parts or trade with them, well, let's just say that Israel doesn't have a lot of other international friends these days.
Oh yeah, the US could easily pull rank.
Fair and 58. Did you read my previous super chat? Probably.
You ignorant.
That's always difficult to answer, but I marked them all with little heart marks, so you should be able to see them if they've been done. Dim light echo. You can also make energy by dropping water. Dams. Yep. Oh, renewable energy in nature is something that annoys me tremendously, because everyone's like, we need more energy. And I was like, okay, well, dams are fantastic for this. Completely clean, completely pure, no risk at all. Oh, but then I can't see my waterfall. Oh.
Yeah, well, too bad.
And would you like to heat your house?
I mean, it's literally free, basically.
Yes.
Gravity does the work for you.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, we've got, we have so many options, and the left's like, no, I want the worst one. It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to assume that you're a bad person then, right? I think I'm fair in assuming that if you just want the worst of all worlds, then you're just doing it because you hate people.
Are you ready to
But what else am I supposed to assume?
a reasonable assumption.
Is it not? Like,
I have lost.
Lapco92, hey Carl, I enjoyed your swan video, but isn't it hypothetical from someone that ate a parrot? You had a bird, you don't have a bird, you don't look underfed. Welcome,
hypocritical. Listen, man. Parrots and swans occupy different places in the moral universe of human beings.
That is true. We like swans more than parrots.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Let's see.
In defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names. I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody is ever, and nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out.
No, we're not. What we're expending all of our power on is blocking the political parties that are trying to get them out. We're doing a lot of work there. I think I saw a stat recently that AfD now had like 40% of the vote in Germany, but because it was only like in one portion of the country, and since they've got like, proportional voting, etc., it didn't matter. And so now we've arrived at the brilliant position where even if 40% of a nation wants to do a thing, it can't be done because we divided up the country in that way.
Really?
Same in Sweden, you know, constantly making sure the Swedish Democrats don't get in power. Anyone with a solution is kept out of power because the solution is not palatable to those who hold it.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, they're doing just absolutely nothing about it. And I have to say,
I love that too. Germany, a very German woman, just sits there looking up at this man like, yeah, I mean, we are invading the country, but
yeah.
I'm part of the invading horde, and I am now in power.
The answer.
What are you going to do, I guess?
I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor.
Who is also a part of the invading force, incidentally.
Weird how this keeps coming up.
It's been so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law. But you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. What makes the world so beautiful is that each country is unique. But to stay this way, every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders. You have the right to control your borders, as we do now.
Yeah, we just don't want to.
God. The year is 2025. The United States president is reminding the rest of the world that they have borders.
And not only that, they have the right to control them. You can do things. You can just do things. Send people home if you don't want them there.
I fucking just the eminent absurdity of that.
I know. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, like for the last fucking 5,000 plus years, humanity has been like, no, this is mine. And now I was like, no, please, everyone, come, eat my food, fuck my wife. Fucking Christ.
It's mad, isn't it?
And to limit the sheer numbers of migrants entering their countries and paid for by the people of that nation that were there and that built that particular nation at the time. They put their blood, sweat, tears, money into that country, and now they're being ruined. Proud nations must be allowed to protect their communities and prevent their societies from being overwhelmed by people they have never seen before, with different customs, religions, with different everything. Where migrants have violated laws, lodged false asylum claims, or claimed refugee status for illegitimate reasons, they should, in many cases, be immediately sent home. And while we will always have a big heart for places and people that are struggling and truly compassionate, answers will be given. We have to solve the problem, and we have to solve it in their countries, not create new problems in our countries. And we are very helpful to a lot of countries that are just not able to send their people anymore. They used to send them to us in caravans of 25,000, 30,000 people each. These massive caravans of people pouring into our country, totally unchecked and unvetted.
Again, when 30,000 people crossed a nation's border in an organized fashion, we used to call that an invasion.
It's mad, isn't it? It's so fucking mad.
But not anymore. According to the Council of Europe in 2024, almost 50% of inmates in German prisons were foreign nationals or migrants. In Austria, the number was 53% of the people in prisons were from places that weren't from where they are now. In Greece,
50%
the number was 54%, and in Switzerland, beautiful Switzerland, 72% of the people in prisons are from outside of Switzerland.
72%.
Jesus.
Hold on, I had to look that up.
Yeah, that is wild.
That can't be true. Then again, like this.
Maybe it is in Switzerland.
Okay, he slightly exaggerates, but no. 71.4% of all prisoners in Switzerland are foreigners.
Brilliant. Fact check this.
It's like, and the thing too, like Switzerland is like the dream Western nation right now.
Oh, yeah,
Insular, homogenous, perfectly democratic, down to the private level, and the only way it accepts new people into its community is if the people in that community vote to allow them in.
Mm-hmm.
And even they have apparently allowed far too many people who shouldn't be there in.
Apparently so.
It's like, again, this is one of the big reasons why we built our incredibly humane prisons in Norway, was because we was assuming that our prisons would handle our citizens and that we would be able to reintegrate them into society. We viewed a criminal not as a bad person, but simply as somebody we needed to cure, in essence.
That's the problem with Norway.
And it worked, though. It fucking worked.
Don't care.
But then we got a few more people. And now, of course, the problem is that there's literally forums of Polish criminals. Like, okay, if you go to Norway and you steal something, so long as you manage to mail it before they catch you, so to get it out of the country, the worst that'll happen is that you'll go on a vacation, basically, for a few months. You'll live in a 4-star hotel for 6 months. That's the cost. That's the consequence.
Oh, horrific.
When your prisons are filled with so-called asylum seekers who repaid kindness, and that's what they did. They repaid kindness with crime. It's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. See, I can tell you. And
of course, this happened last year as well. What happens when there's far too many criminals, far too many new criminals that overwhelm the prison system? Well, you just let them go. Brilliant.
Turns out you can do whatever you like, even if it's really fucking stupid.
Yes. Sending back asylum seekers that violate your nation's sovereignty? That's a bit much. We can't do that. Allowing 2,000 convicted criminals to simply walk back out again? Well, we don't have space. I wonder if that argument could be used in a different context.
So tired.
I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell.
It's not wrong, right?
It's a good sentence.
Yeah, and he's not wrong, and that is the answer. Is basically send them the fuck back.
Yes.
America, we've taken bold action to swiftly shut down uncontrolled migration. Once we started detaining and deporting everyone who crossed the border and removing illegal aliens from the United States, they simply stopped coming. They're not coming anymore. We're getting a lot of credit, but they're not coming anymore.
That's weird, that.
Yeah.
If you behave in a hostile manner to the illegal immigrant will stop coming.
Yeah, I mean, literally, one gunship in the channel ends the whole thing.
Literally does.
This was a humanitarian act for all involved, because on the trips up, thousands of people a week were dying. Women were being raped. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Raped, horribly beaten, raped. On the trip up, the journey up, it was a long walk. It was a long, arduous journey, indeed.
And we never talk about that, the cost of encouraging this immigration.
Basically, every woman who made the journey from South America to America was raped.
I read an article on this, but basically they explained smuggling people had become like a mom and pop industry in large parts of Mexico because they earned so much money by doing it. Hundreds of thousands of US dollars in Mexico by smuggling people. Everyone wanted in on it. It was just that incredibly lucrative. And if something is that lucrative in a country that basically has no fucking legal system, imagine who's going to be ahead of the line.
I don't suppose it'd be the cartels, would it?
Oh, no, not at all. Not organized criminals.
Not in Mexico. God
That'd be
forbid.
terrible.
And it was also a historic victory against human trafficking throughout the region. What we did was a victory, and we saved so many lives of people that wouldn't make the journey. That journey was loaded up with death. Loaded up with death. Dead bodies all along the roads of jungles to get up. They go through jungles, they go through areas so hot you couldn't breathe. They were dying of suffocation, areas so hot.
This is true too. Like, so some of the smuggling routes to get into Mexico, for example, and then, further into America, literally through jungles, actual, like, impassable fucking jungles, okay? Areas so unhealthy that it's the kind of stuff when we built the Panama Canal and thousands of people died due to diseases. They're walking through areas worse than that.
And this is the genuine humanitarian cost of liberal policies, right? Like we just want open borders. We just want to help the people. It's like, okay, but you're getting loads of them killed and raped.
Yep.
Breathe. Dead bodies all over. By them not coming, we're saving tremendous numbers of lives. My people have done a fantastic job in doing what they did, and the American public agrees with it. I mean, I was very proud to see this morning I have the highest poll numbers I've ever had. Part of it is because of what we've done on the border. I guess the other part is what we've done on the economy.
And, like, it's also down to, like, not providing an alternative. So if the alternative is you can travel to America and have this fantasy life where you'll be a supermodel and all of this shit and you'll be rich, then you'll do that. You'll risk your life to do that because it's harder to fix your own country than dreaming of a miracle in the new world. If that promise doesn't exist, well, you're just going to have to fix your own fucking country then.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yes.
Joe Biden's policies empowered murderous gangs, human smugglers, child traffickers, drug cartels, and
oh, and like he talked previously also about like funding Russia whilst being at war with Russia. That is exactly what mass immigration does too. You are funding the cartels by allowing it.
prisoners from all over the world. The previous administration also lost nearly 300,000 children. Think of that. They lost more than 300,000 children, little children, who were trafficked into the United States on the Biden watch, many of whom have been raped, exploited, and abused, and sold.
And that too. Another thing I looked into about this was the rate of children being smuggled out there too. The Mexican smuggling rings was something like 70% of the child trafficking in the world. Like, it was one of the world's leading child trafficking markets because, well, children are valuable, as it turns out. And if they're traveling, protected by nothing but, one person or two at most, they're really easy to take.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that. The fake news doesn't write about it. With many others, young children who are missing or dead. And we found a lot of these children and we're sending them back, and we've been sending them back to their parents. They said, nobody knows who they are. They said, where do you come from? And they'll give us a country and we'll find out and we'll figure it out and we'll bring them back to their homes. And the mother and father rush to the door and their tears in their eyes. They can't believe that they're seeing their son or daughter, their little son or daughter again. We've done almost 30,000 of them so far. Any system that results in the mass trafficking of children is inherently evil.
Correct.
I mean, yes.
Self-evidently true. Doesn't need to be argued for.
How else could you put it? Yeah, no, any system that results in the mass trafficking of fucking kids is probably a bad one. Probably evil.
Yeah, shouldn't have to persuade you of this.
Damn it.
Yet that is exactly what the globalist migration agenda has done, and it's what it's all about.
Yep.
In America, those days, as you know, are over. The Trump administration is working, and we are continuing to work to track down the villains that are causing this problem, and also, as I said, to get back the 30,000 we've already returned. Now I think we're going to have another. We're going to find a lot. You're not going to find all of them. 300, more than 300,000. They're lost or they're dead. They're lost or they're dead because of the animals that did this. To protect our citizens, I've also designated multiple savage drug cartels as far as and you see this, and you see it happening right before your eyes.
Yep. Another great move by Trump.
Absolutely.
This way, people don't like taking big loads of drugs in boats anymore. There aren't too many boats that are traveling on.
God, and I love how the left has been defending drug smugglers recently too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trump nuking those, not nuking, but tanking those boats going across. Oh, there are a couple of drug smuggling boats. I think. Well, we can deal with that.
Yeah, and the left is like, how can you know they're fishing vessels? Yeah, they're a fishing vessel with 600 horsepower outboard motors.
Yeah.
30 miles out to sea.
Yeah. That's how it works, Arch.
Cruising in formation to a neighboring island. I don't know what they're fishing for, but it's got to be one fuck of a fish. And the left is, oh, but due process. Listen, America doesn't have due process for Venezuelan drug smugglers.
Yeah.
That's not how that works. And if Venezuela wants to try and stop America from blowing up their drug smugglers, then by all means, I guess.
Yeah, feel fucking free.
But this is the only thing that works. It worked. The last good thing the UN did was declare a free fire zone in the canal, for example, the Suez Canal area. Somali pirates. How did they fix that? They put warships in it and basically said, okay, if there's a small boat in this area, boom.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you just have to kill the bad guys.
Yeah. It is actually that simple.
Yeah. Like, it turns out that there are some people you just can't really negotiate with, and shouldn't.
Yeah. It's very, very, very simple in these regards. And drug smuggling is absolutely an enormous fucking problem because it's incredibly profitable, it kills a lot of people, and it empowers organizations that everyone agrees are vile fucking savages.
It's really not complicated.
It's not. And when you then again...
The human rights of the drug smugglers, Arch.
I saw a brilliant post because there was some guy who's like, oh, Trump just blew up a fishing boat because this is a fishing boat. And he shows a picture of the fishing boat. Like, okay. And then somebody else points out that fishing boat had $150,000 worth of engines mounted on it.
Yeah, weird that, isn't it?
How did the fishermen afford this?
Being a fisherman's bloody profitable, Arch. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fucking lucrative being a Venezuelan fisherman, I tell you.
On the seas by Venezuela, they tend not to want to travel very quickly anymore. And we've virtually stopped drugs coming into our country by sea. We call them the water drugs. They kill hundreds of thousands of people. I've also designated multiple savage drug cartels as far as foreign terrorist organizations, along with two bloodthirsty transnational gangs, probably the worst gangs anywhere in the world, MS-13 and Tren de Aragua. Tren de Aragua is from Venezuela, by the way. Such organizations torture, maim, mutilate, and murder with impunity. They're the enemies of all humanity. For this reason, we've recently begun using the supreme power of the United States military to destroy Venezuelan terrorists and trafficking networks led by Nicolas Maduro. To every terrorist thug smuggling poisonous drugs into the United States of America, please be warned that
In a room full of bureaucrats going like, but this violates international law. You're not supposed to kill the terrorists.
Fucking superb. Carry on, Trump.
I mean, the lack of applause actually pisses me off on multiple accounts here.
Yeah.
It's like, you have the right to guard your borders. I would expect the Europeans to be on their feet like, fuck yeah, we do.
Yeah, against Russia, yes, and anyone else.
It's like, we're blowing up terrorists smuggling drugs. The entire room is just like, how dare you?
God, this guy's far right.
Those drug smugglers had rights, goddammit.
That's basically a fucking Nazi. Hitler is up there lecturing me. Basically what they're thinking. God, the liberal mind will never cease to amaze.
And that is exactly what is happening. Because I'm sure, like, blowing up a boat in international waters unilaterally is probably a crime.
It's
probably
against international law. That's true.
Yeah.
However, it's doing some really good things.
Yeah.
For bad people.
And that's the issue. Like, the United Nations was literally constructed to do that, to blow shit up, and to go like, no, you can't do that. And now, the only one who's doing it is the US, surrounded by a room full of limp-wristed bureaucrats who could not, in their wettest of dreams, imagining being this effective.
Trump's like, you just do things.
How did you do it, Trump? I deployed the Navy.
Bombs.
Is it that easy? Yes.
It is when the Navy's as powerful as mine. Incredible. Incredible.
God, okay. We only got about halfway through, but I got to set on the Superchats. We can try and wrap this up on the 2-hour notice.
But yeah, no, Trump doing a great job. Really agree with basically everything he was saying there.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, what's there to disagree with?
Tick Tick Boom, the butterfly effect is amazing. Hillary wanted to steal Gaddafi's gold, and now Europe is full camp of the saints. Oh, I do love Gaddafi's speech to the UN as well, where he basically went up there and said, listen, if you take me out, you're going to get flooded by Africans.
Well, yeah, that was true. Correct.
That's not a threat, sir. 10 years later, Gaddafi's looking down at us going, mm-hmm.
Yeah, but to be fair, they're probably like, we want the Africans. We'll let them in ourselves.
God damn it. Quietus, the citizens of Europe, the UK, and possibly the US are going to have to kill the invaders. The leaders are committed to ruining countries. The only solution are... Can't say that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Steve Watson, cease quoting the law, we carry weapons. Pompey, they're great.
Exactly. Just go full Pompey on them at this point.
Brian Alleman, even as they talk about the future breakthrough fusion reactors, guess how we'll generate electricity from them? Boiling water.
Oh, we're going to boil fucking water. Of course we are.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Boiling water is great because it evaporates and it becomes more water. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we spin the wheel. And spinning the wheel makes electricity.
Water.
We just need to find good ways to spin the wheel. Maranga 2, Papa Sargon, when are you coming to New Zealand? You'd love the place.
Sure I would, but it's going to take me long to get bloody Australia.
It is. It's far away. Mercenex21, Arch, I am liking the stream, but every so often I check and my like gets deleted. I wouldn't be fucking surprised. But hey, we got 1,071 likes now. Good job, chat. Good job. And Chia, do you think Trump is going to do anything in Venezuela, or all the troops and ships he has parked outside of Venezuela are just for show? I don't think he should do anything in Venezuela. Because the US really doesn't want to get involved in another ground war now.
Although,
if the US was going to do anything, it would be in Mexico first, like special forces, basically. But you got to be wary about having to basically, because if you end up in a situation where you destabilize the regime, you're going to have to start occupying the place, and you're going to have to spend the next 10 years trying to build civilization down there again.
I mean, to be fair, the Mexicans are so well acclimatized to the Americans. You'd think that this would be actually quite an easy thing to do.
Like, honestly, I'd prefer it if America just goes full hammer of God on this. Like, every time they find a drug hideout, a Hellfire missile just falls from the sky.
Oh, right. Yeah, 100%. Just physically evaporate the cartels.
Yeah, don't even bother going in there trying to arrest people or hitting specific targets. Just like, oh, there's a cartel hideout here? Okay, get plausible confirmation, double check, and then boom.
Well, I mean, surely America has one of the greatest intelligence agencies in the world.
Yeah. And just keep doing that. Fucking terror tactics, basically.
Yeah.
Every time you find a hideout, it explodes. Every time you find a distribution center, it explodes.
And if the Mexican government has a problem with that, the question is always, well, why do they even exist? Why haven't you dealt with them?
You're violating our sovereignty. Intend to keep doing it too.
Yeah. Shut up, Mexico.
You're free to step in and take over at any time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, that's the thing, though. Mexico's got that Jewish leftist woman who's in charge. And she is just literally congenitally against the United States because she's a fucking leftist. And it's like, okay, but like destroying the drug gangs would be good for everyone. There's just no argument for the drug gangs.
No. And the only reason why they're still protecting them is because all of the people in Mexico, politicians, that weren't protecting them, get killed.
Yeah.
Like, that's why a crazy woman is the president of Mexico, because everyone else got shot.
Yep.
Mr. Frenzy, I wonder if Trump's original speech had this many burns in it. If it didn't, then let this be a lesson to them to always make sure the damn teleprompter is working.
That's a great question.
Jack Price, the UN tries to pressure the US to sign the Small Arms Treaty every year, which would regulate the civilian arms market through international law. Every year, America tells them to fuck themselves, I hope.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Tell the Beagle, in Ireland, our disastrous presidential elections are in a month. Of our 3 candidates, 2 are with the current government parties, with only one of them being a former minister. The third is an out-and-out socialist.
Yeah, Conor McGregor. I made a video about this when he was like, I'm going to run for president of Ireland. I was like, no, you're not. Because the Irish presidency is first and foremost worthless, right? He does about as much as King Charles, right? So it's like he's literally not really it's not an executive president, literally, like in America. He obviously hadn't taken the time to find this out. And the only way you can become a candidate is to be nominated by the parties. And if all of the parties are extreme radical left-wing parties who fucking hate Irish people and hate you and don't want you getting anywhere in politics, you get nothing. And obviously, the other day he had to stand and go, oh, okay, I'm not going to run for president. So yeah, I know you're not, because literally the system is sewn up. What you need to do is start a political party or join one. Become the leader of like the Freedom Party in Ireland or something. And I'm sure they'd happily take you. And then, right, Conor McGregor's party. 1 million people join it. You know what I mean? Like, he could actually take over. He's just decided not to do it the right way, and it's really fucking frustrating. I mean, like, this would be like in England if Jeremy Clarkson was going to run. Like, it's like native celebrity of unbelievable high sort of fame and public affection. Like, he could actually do it, just not the way he thinks, because it's not America.
Yep.
You ignorant slut.
Oh God, I wish Jeremy Clarkson would run.
Oh, God.
And I almost feel that he's being pressured into it because just today actually, his pub was hit yet again by another council decision.
Oh, was I? Didn't even see that.
Yep, no, this happened literally today. He's being fucked by every regulation known to fucking man. And you can tell that he really is getting annoyed by all of that too.
Yeah, they hate him because he's just a natural conservative.
Yep.
Like he's such a like normie conservative, and like no one's done better work than Jeremy Clarkson to radicalize people against the government, man.
Yep. Coromel, Trump warned about relying on Russia during the first term, and the Germans smirked. Was a major red pill for me. Yep.
Oh, it was so stupid.
Quietus, Israel's influence over the US is unacceptable. It must be destroyed.
Uh-huh.
Wrath Simulation. Hello, Arch. Have you seen the new XCOM game like Menace? It looks like a fresh take on the formula. Also, one-page rule Thier funding page for their physical models. Campaign was fun to 17 hours, and to be honest, the prices are reasonable. I have seen Menace, and I'm very interested in Menace. I'm looking forward to Menace.
I haven't heard of it.
Bass player, right, drop them on Russia and Western Europe. Sorry, lads. I'm sick and tired of footing the bill so you can play power politics. Listen, you're going to keep paying for our protection, one way or the other. We like this. We like this arrangement.
It was nice being an American vassal. Pay my bills.
Kopish 88. Germany closed all nuclear plants, became dependent on coal and Russian gas. Genius German leadership. Yes.
I mean, it's incredible. It's so green.
We talked about this in a previous episode of Stamford Bridge where we just looked at the German coal machines. Like, oh, yeah, here's one of the pictures. Like, these things. These titanic monsters that just literally devours the landscape.
I mean, it looks like it shouldn't even exist, right? It looks like something out of a science fiction film or something.
Yeah, it looks like something out of a dystopian science fiction story.
I don't even know if it's dystopian. It's just like, what was that World War I with mechs game?
Iron Harvest.
Yeah, it looks like something out of that, right? I mean, fucking look at it.
Like, I also hate like the contrast. You've got this beautiful land, and all of this beautiful land that was, all of it has just been devoured to feed the vast coal furnaces of Germany.
And then there's France with its beautiful, clean nuclear power.
Yes. And we're going to be so green. We're going to be so safe. We're not going to do that nuclear power stuff. That's icky. Okay, what's the alternative? Well, we figured we'd just tear up about 1 million miles of countryside.
Amazing.
Very well. What's your green solution, dear Chancellor? We shall burn more coal. Thanks.
That's so green. That's so forward-thinking.
Charles the Beagle. There were shenanigans when a Catholic Conservative candidate, Maria Steen, was hampered by the government pressuring local councillors to not back her bid. She didn't get required backing in time. Catholic Conservative. Deadpool Kid, for those who say nothing ever happens, is because you're not doing anything. That's true. The human substitute Aranka. Aren't Ukraine and Russian leaders both judo black belts? Sack it. Mortal Kombat rules. Strongest ruler, fighter wins the war. Get it over with. Shout out to Yin Yang. Poland is currently the US military industrial complex best friend. They are. Because unlike the rest of Europe, Poland remembers what Russia did to it.
Well, yeah. The Poles are very, very familiar.
That's the next anyone. I can attest to that never being a wrong part with my German father. You can show him incontrovertible proof and he'll still deny it.
Oh, it's so true, man. The Germans are so arrogant. It drives me crazy. Like this fucking weird attitude where it's literally, you can be literally demonstrating in front of them and they'll just go blah, 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 shake their jowls and like turn away. And it's like, for fuck's sake, man, I'm literally showing you this. Like, it mental. It drives me mad.
Alexander Cross, the problem with America and the Middle East is that the powers that be forgot how American diplomacy is supposed to work. Hamburger in one hand, loaded gun in the other. Ask them to pick one. Well, yeah. The problem is that you believe the hamburger has any value to the goat fucker.
Well, there is that.
There's the big issue, because America moved into the Middle East and assumed, okay, we'll show them democracy, we'll show them Starbucks and KFC, and they'll love it. And they look at your Starbucks and they poke it like it's a thing that fell from space. These are simply incompatible cultures. And every time you give them democracy, like with the Arab Spring, for example, they just vote in more theocratic governments. We have the freedom to choose. Yeah, you can choose anyone you want. Okay, our supreme religious leader.
Yeah, I'd like to elect Head Choppy McGee.
Yes.
Jihadi John. Yeah, great. We've got him in charge now. No, you don't actually have Jihadi John in charge. Now we have to have an intervention.
Every time the West is done like, you can't pick him. Why not? Can't you tell he's evil? No.
That's why we picked him.
Leo of the Red. Russia won in the short term with the land bridge to Crimea. However, they absolutely have lost in the long term. Turns out the mighty Russian bear is like starving husk of its former self. Well, Crimea also, they won the war in Crimea because the Ukrainians didn't fight, because the Ukrainians were at that point more European. They'd forgotten who they were fighting. And so when Russia invaded them and just went like, we're not doing anything. Totally. They bought those uniforms in a clothing store. Ukraine didn't have the balls to call the bluff. Second time around...
It was pretty ballsy of Russia to do it, to be fair. And I can see why the Ukrainians were like, are we going to do something about this? Or no? Okay, no, okay.
Yep. Nobody called the bluff.
Yeah.
Maranga 2, did you see the Maori playing homage to Charlie Kirk at the Unity of the Kingdom rally? I told you that a long of them are on our side, which are Phoenix points.
Well, the Maori are currently arguing with the Liberal government in New Zealand because they had a treaty with the British Empire, which gave them favourable terms. And the Liberal New Zealand government now are like, yeah, but we want to make it like a liberal treaty, so it's a uniform thing for everyone. And the Maori are like, no, we have a treaty with the British Empire that gave us favourable terms. And so weirdly, it puts the Maori in the base traditionalist position of demanding that we act like the British Empire still because they have a treaty with them.
It's true.
Isn't that weird? Like, you know, the old sort of subject peoples are like, excuse me, you're meant to be acting like the fucking respectable colonizer that you were when we signed this treaty. They're like, no, we're liberals now. We're liberals. We're all equal. It's like, no, we're not. We're a subject people of the British Empire. Get your fucking facts straight. It's so funny. It's just like, okay. So yeah, the Maori are actually on our side, to be honest. Okay, fair enough. Who saw that coming? Kind of the same with the Zulus, though, right? Because the thing is about the sort of the sort of tribes against modernity, right? You can tell they instinctively are like, yeah, we're not sure about this modernity thing, especially as when you're a tribe and you have like a relationship with a greater power. Okay, it's not fun to be like the minor power, but you do get your autonomy. You do get to be what you want to be. You might have to pay some tribute or whatever, but you still have your autonomy secured, but you also get recognition for what you are. Whereas the liberal state doesn't recognize what you are and actually seeks to break apart your tribe. So I can see why the tribals are like, no, we're with the trads. We're with the Imperials. We're not with you fucking liberals. You seem awful to us.
Jordan Rogers, very cool. Humanizing yesterday, Arch. Sargon should be humanized next. Go on humanizing, Sargon.
What? Why do I need to
Humanizing
be
is a
humanized?
show that a lady by the name of Not So Erudite does.
Oh, right, okay.
So she's a left-winger and tries to humanize our side to the left, which is a nice idea.
I don't think they care.
Possibly.
But it is a very sweet thing.
Fast Player 2011 Iffy. I'm announcing today that we are creating an AI weapon system. We're calling it Skynet. It will be big, beautiful, and huge.
Honestly,
Yes.
I'm surprised it just hasn't been invented yet.
I'm sure we have. We just haven't revealed it to the public because the public would be upset.
Mm.
Marksman 117. Rwanda invaded the Congo but have denied being at war despite their military being in the Congo. Annexed a lot of land from Congo. Now it's officially over, while Rwanda officially did not enter the Congo. Oh, here you go.
Okay.
The era of undeclared wars is a fascinating thing.
Mm.
Slugs on Doppelganger. EU people must overrule politicians with perforce. Perforce. Empty Veins. I still want you guys to go over that men versus women strength challenge you were planning to do before everything went to shit. Maybe, if I get back to that. Mark Guidetti. Carl, you are wrong. France belongs to the English. Henry V proved this at the Hessian court.
Correct, actually. He did argue that via Salic law, and then he won and was put as the heir apparent to the French throne, but then he died of dysentery.
Sitting oneself to death. An unfortunate end to many a great medieval person.
Yeah, unfortunately, not an uncommon thing in the Middle Ages.
Alvorzin, first dono. Love the content, hope to watch for a long time. In your opinion, how much of your respective governments consist of bureaucratic bloat?
Well, God, most of it.
Is there a number above 100%?
Why would I think any of it wasn't?
Okay, so bureaucratic bloat. To answer seriously, probably like a solid, like in Norway at least, a solid like 60-70% is actually just waste. From what I've done, learned interacting with the government in a limited capacity over here, as next to the family business is a government employment center, which basically means that it's a place where the government makes up work for like people who either can't work and they can't get a job, or who are actually disabled but they still want to do something with their lives, right?
Left wingers, yeah.
Yes. And they literally have them like nailing wooden pallets together by hand and other ridiculous jobs that we've already automized a dozen years ago.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's literally the government just creating work for people to have fun with, in essence. And they spend about the equivalent of $100 to organize this, right, for each individual person for 1 hour. The cost of actually getting the work done is about $25. And so in that case, 75% of the cost of getting this dude to hammer nails into a pallet is purely administrative.
Amazing.
So, a lot. Jeff D, I've heard allegations that the UK has been purposely pushing citizens out of housing by offering 30% over market value to landlords to house illegals.
Yeah, they probably have been doing that.
Timothy W. Haskins, you should consider the possibility that Trump is maneuvering Europe to be 100% dependent on the US, oil and gas included. Well, it can't, because there's no way for the US to deliver that oil and gas. See, delivering oil and gas is really fucking difficult, and usually it requires the construction of very high-volume pipelines between nations. Pipelines that are extraordinarily hard and expensive to produce. America can't build pipelines to the US, and there aren't enough oil and gas carriers in the world for the US to supply Europe directly. So, if he's trying to do that, he's a bit of a dum-dum. The Dodger UK, Trump basically said, I'm the best of the best. Dick, lol. Then took a swipe at the EU. Why are you letting these scumbags ruin your country, stealing money and raping your children? Why are we letting them do that? Yes.
If only someone had an answer.
Festiva, America is going to need to carry Europe to save you all from World War III, and upon victory, you'll be controlled by US. No negotiations will be had on this. Listen, we're already happy for you to pay for us, our militaries. You don't have to convince us.
Yeah. Do you think we like being administered by Europeans? Seriously.
Listen, you're going to go to war with China and all of that stuff, and we'll help.
Moral support, I don't know.
We'll cheer you on. Oh, no, not really. We'll yell at you and bitch at you for everything you do. Like, you can't do that.
Highly judgmental.
You bombed the Three Gorges Dam. Think of all of the innocent farmers.
No, it won't even be that. It'll be, think of the native wildlife you've put in danger. There's a particular kind of endangered fish that lives there.
Oh, God, you eradicated a bird or something.
Yeah, that's literally what's happening in Britain.
The habitat of the Chinese swallowtail. How could you, America?
No, unironically, there was some nuclear power plant that they were trying to build here. And for years they were trying to build it, and they couldn't because of a certain kind of fish that lived in the river that they needed to dam. And it's just like, and they were like, nope, you can't do that. Regulations or whatever. And it's like, for fuck's sake, man.
Yep. Hexy, YouTube admits government censored. Dev most affected.
True, yeah.
Mega Killer X. Wow, the last time I ever saw a UN assembly was the president of Haiti state that they're not eating dogs. They're not dog-eating savages, as he dunks an entire jug of water instead of the glass.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah.
He was thirsty.
Absolute gold.
Bass Player 2011. Trump didn't make a mistake with the EU. If he had labeled an international terrorist organization, which they are, the fun would really start. International arrest, assets seized, accounts frozen. I'm grinning just thinking about it. Emo Otaku, did you really use the word principle and left in the same sentence? Yes, I know. James Hayes, have you guys heard the Destiny Get Cuck AI song?
No.
No, but I can pretty much imagine it. Animate Acumen reminds me of the Family Guy skit where the prisoner is prepared to knife Peter, but he was bailed out, so he does it to himself. Oh God, is this what I've been doing to people? I belong in here.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
Yep. The Dodgy UK, the right should Conrad curse something. Best next anyone, and 12 to the Loomy Doug Suit Fund. Simon Belmont, Art, how are things going politically in Norway? Well, our primary right-wing party now has like 40% of the vote roundabout, but they're still outnumbered by all of the left-wing parties banding together to keep them out of power, so pretty much like all other places, really.
Do you have proportional representation?
We do, yes.
Disgraceful.
Bass Player, the left won't have time to go ow, ow, ow. Like I said in the past, on the right is a switch. Off is debate, on is full-blown Jindro Wolf Brigade. I don't know about that. I think the right is going to continue to be a feat for a very long time. Unfortunately. Tanushi, if you want an example of how to treat a left that's gone too far, look at Finland in 1918. Lum Lum will force you to watch Night of Guinevere, says weird. I don't even know what that is. Deadpool Kid, I'm done with both sides. Time to do away with the incursions of woke demons. Feel the glory of steel and God's divinity. The Dodgy UK, Germany, Trump is clueless about Russian gas. Yeah, he probably is, but he knows that you're buying it from Russia. And he knows that you're giving Russia money in return for it. Really all he needs. Somewhere, American women on ventilator after ODing on Tylenol after Trump's speech. Oh, God help me. So Trump going like, listen, don't take Tylenol when you're pregnant. Thousands of American lefty women. Don't tell me what to do. Swallow, swallow, swallow.
They literally don't recommend you take it when you're pregnant.
Yes.
They themselves do not advise taking any of their products when you're pregnant.
Well, of course. Like, this is one of those things where it's literally, don't eat bleach.
Yeah.
And because Trump says it, suddenly, it's like, oh, I'll glug this shit down. And I want to point out, too, while you're pregnant, like, bitch, you're not even endangering yourself anymore. I hate that, too. Like, only a leftist woman would be like, my virtue signal is actually more important than my unborn fucking child.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like, it's a mindset that it's difficult to even, like, because in all normal understandings, right? The baby is the most important thing. That is what's supposed to happen. No, you should take care of the baby. And here, because Trump said it, suddenly all of that goes out of the way. I don't even want to fucking think about it.
I mean, your literal one job is to take care of the baby you are carrying. It's your job. No one else can replicate it.
It's fucking ridiculous. Jamie McWild sent 500 warp tokens. Oh, I have to rage quit to write something. That's topical. Oshcast, please add to fund of your choosing. Thank you. And yes, indeed, you can do super chats over at Kick now, but you have to use their silly currency, which I like to call warp tokens, which, I mean, at least there are super chats now, so that's cool. Animate Acumen, we don't have space. Guess we need to make some then. We do. Luckily, there's a large population of people that the majority want gone. Indeed. Base Hillbilly, 30-year war should have ended with Denmark, Netherlands, getting North Germany, south to Austria, Norway, Prussia to Sweden, and Bohemia to Poland. Oh, and then YouTube does the stupid scrolly thing. Where was I? Rebel Eggs, but Sargon. Some of these lost people on the trails were clearly witches and doing witchcraft, and must be disposed of by others.
Well, there we go.
A little bit of jungle justice. Trevor N. UN faces problem. Let's bury it in paperwork. Trump, apply more DACA. Yes. And it turns out that DACA is more effective at solving the problem than paperworking it.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you know, violence doesn't solve problems. It's like, it does, actually. It's the best way of solving a lot of problems, frankly.
Yeah. Violence has categorically solved every problem it's ever been applied to in the correct amount.
Yeah.
Whereas paperwork usually just creates problems. In fact, paperwork is usually invented specifically to create problems. Reclaim Bear, did you guys hear about the Christian streamer martyred live on stream in France?
No.
No. Well, actually, I googled that, and I get 3 articles about Christians being killed in France. So, modern day France. I'm going to have to ask you to be more specific about which Christian is being killed for his faith.
Well, yeah.
Fucking hell, France! What is wrong with you? Like, the worst part is, France actually has, like, a military police, the gendarmerie, because it used to be used to having constant revolutions. France, Use it. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
Nolly. The follow-up emails have been sent to GW Arch. Civil and polite, the letters will continue till the firing. Good job. Steve Watson, New Zealand gave agency to a river. They recognized a ruddy river as a person. I can't think of a more stupid country.
I think it's kind of based.
Quietus, sorry Arch, but this gets solved with unironic right-wing... No waffling about it's going to solve this. Trump needs to channel his inner Abe Lincoln. I mean, the left does like Abraham Lincoln. We could try. Jim Froggable, hello Arch, do you think we could use humans to spin the turbines? For example, spinning the turbines for 5 years guarantees a visa. I'm not saying we can't, but I'm thinking more along the lines of 10 years, honestly, because you're going to need to generate a lot of energy to pay for yourself. The Sentinel Rex, there's a town in Mexico that has no mayor because every election the cartel would eliminate the winner, so they just stopped having elections.
Yep.
Bad latency. If we want to step it up from deleting hideouts, we can step it up to deleting terrain features. We're good at that. Why not? You know that a certain region of the forest is probably used to refine cocaine or whatever. Agent Orange worked pretty well in Vietnam. Sinso, there is a whole hearing about renovating the building, where he explained exactly how they are going to get ripped off, just like it happened after. Auto saxophone, Art and Sargon, two bros united to laugh at the state of the world. Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is something we do because the world is shit.
Fuck, it would be amazing. Like, we need a time machine just so I can go back in time and just inform us that in 10 years you're going to hear the United States president remind Europe that borders exist.
I just wish we could just talk about video games and 40k and stuff. I really would like to do that these days, but you've got to cover what's happening. We've got to be part of the sort of pantheon of voices, man.
Yep. No, that was part of what I talked about with Erudite yesterday. So I was like, okay, why are you doing this? Why don't you just talk about hobby stuff? Because I'd probably be richer if I did, honestly. I wouldn't be disowned by GW.
Yeah.
And it's because it would be cowardly. Simple as.
It's irresponsible.
Yeah, irresponsible is a great word for it.
Yeah.
You can do that, and you can live like a parasite of the corpse of the thing you know is being destroyed and do nothing about it. Or you do something, and it's going to be harder, and you're going to be unpopular, but in the end, you will also win. Marksman, confirmed by Mexico's own news, the night the woman won the election, an armed convoy that wasn't military showed up at her home, and a single man stepped out to talk to her. We don't know what source said, but we know who sent him to lay down the rules to her. The sheer fucking balls on that, too. President is elected. You send an armed convoy of your fucking private military to her house and go, listen, you know who we are. You know what we do. Don't piss us off. And then just drive off. At that point, what the fuck? Why even bother? You're a cartel nation. What? Just embrace it, I guess.
Yeah.
Sajad, the Mexican president, is Jewish. She's inherently submissive. I don't know if that's an accusation I've ever been... subversive,
I think
yes.
Subversive, yeah.
Yes. I've heard more of that.
But I just, if Mexico's basically lost control of a bunch of northern territories, just annex them.
Yeah.
Just no, we're not having rogue gangs of psychos controlling any amount of territory on the southern border. It's not happening.
You can't police it, so...
Yeah.
Come on, America, you're already the world police. What's one more strip of jungle?
Yeah. Well, no, it's desert. The jungle's far to the south.
Tanushi, the problem with Europe's defending against Russia is that they're so casualty averse. This and previous supers into Blowfish Lumifund. Well, yeah, they were making a system now in Germany that was like, we're going to prepare for up to 1,000 wounded a day. Cool. That's a start. That's still under the rate of casualties we saw in the previous wars, but hey, at least you're starting to think about it. And of document, sorry, sir, you declared war. You're going to tell your enemy you're about to hurt them before you actually do? Well, we used to. Like, that was the nice thing. You used to have, like, declarations and stuff. Envoys would come and, like, slap you across the face with a white glow and say, fuck you. I liked those times. Warnari, Arch, you and Sargon may like war games by one-page rules, founded by Warhammer fans, 3D print, and free rules. Had box set Broken Truth with Space Dino vs. Robots funded. Over 250,000 GW sweating. I will find a lore from Arch. War games by one-page rules. I mean, any competition for GW is good competition for GW.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Watson, the Donbass and Crimea are Russian. The Ukes lost first time round because they were the bad guys, and the partisans were on their side. Equals a bit stuffed. So, Lux and Doppelganger, if we go to war with China, you will pay for it. We? You think Europe could pay for that?
Yeah, we haven't got any money.
You think we could wage that war? Listen, the heaviest warship we have is a helicarrier.
I mean, we've got a navy, but like, we just don't have any money
Yeah.
for anything.
We've got some destroyers and frigates bumbling about. Huh?
Oh, we've got like aircraft carriers, but like, we haven't got any money. Like, don't want to send them out. They'll run out of fucking fuel.
Do we even have aircraft carriers? I thought Britain scrapped their last one recently.
I think we're actually building two.
Let's see. Yes, you do. Okay, brilliant. So you scrapped them, and now you're building another.
Another two. Yeah.
But yeah, no. I'm looking at the list right now. We're building carriers. United Kingdom is building. Italy is apparently thinking of making some. France is making 4. I guess we've finally gone. Oh, we need military again.
Something about Russia?
Well, we'll be, but don't worry, America. We'll be ready to back you up in, what's the construction time of an aircraft carrier? 10, 12 years' time?
Yeah, sorry, no, we actually have 2 that are active at the moment.
Are you sure they're carriers?
Yep. The HMS Queen Elizabeth and the HMS Prince of Wales.
Let's see. Yeah, no, they're, well, technically a carrier, yes, but light carrier more than anything.
Sure, I'm not saying they're the best carriers that ever existed.
But it is technically an aircraft carrier. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. How many aircraft does it carry? 40. 72 in war. I mean,
72. That's something. Nolly, oh no, we wiped out a species before the Chinese got to it. Yeah, to be fair, okay, if the Chinese haven't eaten it to death yet, then it's clearly a very hardy species. What was Doom? YouTube won't let me type this joke. It involved the swallow and white phosphorus. That's true. Mr. Wolfgram, Sargon ever considered doing a video on the success of the Anglosphere compared to other colonies?
I mean, do I need to explain it?
Danny D. Morena, the ruling party of Mexico, is around 85% owned by 2 cartels. I have Mexican military friends who fight them in the western states of Mexico. Good on them. Like, good job, honestly. Like that. First and foremost, that's fucking dangerous and brave and honorable. Very good. MacLord 2486. Down in Mexico, they have tank battles between cartels. Imagine homemade armored cars with 50 cal rifles shooting each other point blank. TikTok has loads of these battles. I've actually seen one of the cartel armored cars. See if I can find it. Oh yeah, here we go. So yeah, this is actually a thing they do. They armor up cars, and it's pretty crude, but it does the job. Like, this will absolutely protect you against like small arms fire, and you can then, you know, shoot out of the viewports or mount a weapon on top, etc.
I gotta say though, I do love how Mad Max it is.
Yes.
It's genuinely like Mad Max happening in northern Mexico.
Because this will work. This will absolutely work.
Yeah, 100%.
I have lost. Shit.
And then, of course, the cartels have also started to developing their own anti-tank weaponry, which is usually massively oversized rifle. They've basically hit the World War I equivalent of tech.
You ignorant slut.
In the post-apocalyptic future.
Yes. Krieger, Sargon, have you ever considered doing a book club on Leviathan? I'm reading it right now, and it's interesting how Hobbes built up to his conclusion, even if you don't agree with them.
Well, yeah, I could.
Insane Hippie Sane, Britain has more admirals than warships.
That's probably true. Just on the Leviathan point, it hasn't seemed like a necessary thing, because Hobbes is basically the very beginning of liberalism. The only thinker who predates Hobbes that you would really include in the liberal canon is Grotius. And Hobbes's view is, of course, primitive. And so it's not really necessary. But I mean, he was interesting enough.
Alexandria on Streamlabs. Carl, did you see AA, Academic Agent, I guess, call you out by name in his latest video?
No, what'd he say?
Don't know. He didn't say.
I don't know what he said.
And with that,
Let me have a quick look, see what his latest video is.
Yeah, go on. Apparently it's very short.
Zionism wears populism as a skin suit. Oh, no kidding. Is that?
I have lost. Shit.
Oh, here we go. I'll send you a link to it.
All right.
It's only 2 minutes long.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Let's see.
Well, third man, the problem is...
Bring that up there. Right, let me just switch over all of these tabs. There we go. And share screen. There you go.
Well, third man, the problem is that people in our current political system, especially populists, are compromised. They are demonstrably compromised. The Trump admin, for example, is compromised by relationship to Jeffrey Epstein and by foreign funds, funding that comes from a Zionist network. Nigel Farage is compromised by this. Le Pen is compromised by this. Milei is compromised by this. Old Maloney in Italy is compromised by this. And
Trump is mega compromised by it. Trump's giga Zionist.
The Epstein files that will keep haunting him forever.
Yeah, well.
Tell in crunch moments, like, for example, the UK recognizing Palestine as a state, Farage comes out and says, no, this is the wrong thing to do. Maloney and Milei and Trump come out and say, no, we will stand by Israel no matter what. And what they do...
I mean, I agree. Palestine's a terrorist state and should be crushed.
Yeah, but I just don't understand why we're supposed to be so committed to Israel, man. I don't give a shit about Israel.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't want Palestine crushed because it's Israel's enemy. I want Palestine crushed because it's fucking annoying to keep hearing about it.
God.
Is they wear your politics, your causes, your nationalism, your patriotism, you wanting your country back as a skin suit to get what they want, namely support for Israel. Do you get it now? I hope you get it. And until that problem is there, I will have zero faith in anything being sorted out. Why do I still say...
But this isn't exactly revelatory. Everyone knows that.
So long as it's providing the solutions to the problems I care about. And
even if it doesn't, what am I going to do about it? What are my options here?
Yeah, like the even if we assume this is correct, the MAGA movement is currently pushing in the right direction. It's giving me what I want it to give me, so...
Yeah,
hey?
yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I would happily not ever speak about Israel again. Just everyone else is talking about Israel, so say, hey, well, I mean, I talk about Israel as little as I possibly can.
And honestly,
I'm not interested in it.
You want to hear people stop talking about Israel? Fucking finish off Palestine. Just end that fucking conflict. And then we don't need to bother about it. The reason why Israel's constantly whinging is because they're constantly under attack. Finish the war.
He's also complaining about the network of Zionists that, control like American politics, right? Through AIPAC, through just funding. And so you get like, mega pro-Israel people like Ted Cruz and bloody... what's his name, the weird Lindsey Graham, and those sorts of types, the old rhino types, who have just been making bank off of AIPAC. And he's not wrong. It's just like, this is not a secret, and we know, but I mean, what am I going to do about all that? Like, what are my options?
I'm more than happy to tackle American political finance things too. That'd be fine. Because American system is pretty much legalized corruption, so yeah.
It completely is. But what am I going to do about that? Like there are so many things in the world that I don't agree with. I can't do anything about. But anyway, come on, let's finish this.
One problem at a time.
Yeah.
In the face of that we will win, because as time goes on, more and more people wake up to the fundamental problem that you can't get any solution in your country until that fundamental question is sorted out. I.e., get foreign influence out of your politics. It's not a case of doing a deal or using them to do something for you. It doesn't work like that. They use you. When they pay money, they're using you to get what you want. You don't use them to get what you want. They use you. Until you and Connor Tomlinson and Carl Benjamin and every other fucker gets that through their skull, you get nothing, you lose.
I've never taken any money from fucking Israel. Why did he say I'm taking money from Israel? Well, I got offered a trip out to Israel and I said no.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. I didn't want to go.
But again, I see the point. Get foreign money out of politics. I agree, but this really is a problem for further down the road, honestly. That's how I view it. Like, okay, foreign influence, bad. Get it out. Absolutely. Don't mind. But right now, there are internal problems. Deal with the internal problems. And if the assertion is that we cannot end internal problems till we get rid of the foreign influences, well, how the fuck are we going to get rid of the foreign influences whilst the nation is still riven assault by internal problems? It's a bit of a chicken and an egg, and I think the only way to get rid of the foreign is by first unifying the domestic.
Yeah.
Not to mention, here's the thing too, as always, politics is the 2% arguing over the 98. And if we start coming to the 98% with, it's the Jews, it's just not going to fucking work. I mean, look at the left. That's what the left has been doing recently. Jews! Jews! How popular has that made them?
But even, well, not very, but even then, like, yeah, okay, I don't like Israel advocacy being the primary vehicle that we end up being pro-Western. I don't like that either. But what am I supposed to do? Like, what are my options here? Like, I don't have my hands on any levers of power to make a decision about these things. So what am I supposed to do about that?
Well, and that's why you take things one thing at a time. Okay, stabilize the nation, get in place proper Western values. Then, indeed, once we are a unified force, we can look at getting rid of foreign money too. I'm entirely for that.
I mean, it's not like I sit there making videos in favor of Israel or go on trips to Israel or something.
I'm quite happy with criticizing both foreign meddling and the current state of affairs.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Let's see. A few more have rolled in too. MacLeod, those tanks are all the new ones have thick armored glass. They have been getting better at building those tanks. I'm sure they have. Lessons learned, you know. Oh, this one didn't work out very well. Let's build a better one. I do enjoy the idea that there's a bunch of cartel mechanics somewhere just clanking together fucking tanks for the cartel.
I mean, that's pretty fun. Like, what do? I get to experiment on vehicles to see how armor plated I can make them for our Mad Max cartel wars. Like, that sounds like a really good time.
And he's probably paid luxuriously for it too.
Yeah.
Nolly, Art, have you ever considered inviting Marshall Bowman onto the Artcast? This will last for a Vengeance Fund, 40 total. No. I can't say I have. I wouldn't be opposed to the idea necessarily. Insane hippie saying, now let academic agent who is funding anti-Israel pundits, Qatar, Iran, and the CCP, or will he ignore that again?
I mean, I'm not getting funded by anyone. I hear about all this foreign funding that's going around. Like, oh, it's Russia, it's Israel, it's Qatar. And I'm like, I'm not getting any of it. And the only people who have offered are the fucking Israelis.
Yeah, just getting rid of foreign funding in general sounds like a great idea, honestly. I don't care if it's Israeli, Iranian, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to come around to the idea after AA's weren't there.
Yep, I like that idea.
Foreign funding, yeah, good idea.
And with that, we have gone through all of the Super Chats today. Thank you very much for watching, chat. Thank you for your generous donations. And we will see all of you again next week. Oh. Derek Wild sends more warp tokens. Sargon, do leftists in the UK also shoot talking politicians? That's a weird way of putting it.
It's not the leftists who do that.
Or just stab them. Why not join Farage? Will it hurt? Would you join election or revolution?
Why not join Farage? That's a great question that you should ask Nigel Farage.
Yeah, like Nigel Farage is mobilizing a great deal of the British people right now around reform, but he's a career politician. He is an establishment politician.
He also just refuses to have any interaction with anyone on the right.
Yes, like I don't think Farage is going to provide the solution. The worst scenario, in my opinion, is that Farage gets voted in, 4 years of nothing happening, and then the British public yet again give Farage the same backlash they gave to the Conservatives. And then you get 4 more years of Labour doing everything in its power to destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
As no actual alternative is presented.
I mean, we are genuinely at the point where, like, the system itself has to be completely overhauled and reformed from the ground up. And Farage just isn't the guy to do it.
Yep, but he's got a name, and he's got a reputation for being the maverick against the establishment, even though he kind of isn't. Yeah. I don't think it's going to work out.
But don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to vote for Farage, because what are the options?
Yeah. What other option is there? Labour?
Yeah, Tories.
At least, like, Farage is theoretically probably not going to do what he says he's going to do. He's probably not going to impress. Probably. But Labour is guaranteed to do everything in their power to destroy shit. And the Tories are guaranteed to disappoint. So,
yeah. Well, 100%. And so, I mean, like, Farage might accidentally do something right-wing, which would be nice.
yeah. That's the position. And of course, as always, thank you, Sargon, for hanging out with me today.
Anytime, man.
And Imotaku, I'd like to see what's left of those tanks after meeting the Apache. Very little. Until next time, chat. Have a good night.